Alive?
Pretty sure.
I would hope so.
That looks like a game. That looks like you. This looks like a crowd. An awesome crowd.
Woo!
Come on. Yeah. Should we roll call?
Get started whenever I want. So like I could say like 3, 2, 1, go, and then we'll go. All right. In that case, 54, 53, 3, 2, 1, go!
Woo!
So if you didn't know what game this was, it's Final Fantasy XIII-2.
You're gonna see this screen a lot.
Yeah. It's load screen simulator at times.
Oh, and that icon, that's a great icon.
Yeah. Before we get too far into it, let's introduce ourselves.
I'm LewdDolphin.
Volvigen.
Malaron.
Some of us here speedrun this to varying amounts.
Forgotten time.
I've run like an hour.
Reborn.
I'm pretty sure that qualifies.
I've ran like 1,000 hours of this.
I think it goes decreasing order.
Pretty much. Oh my goodness. So this fight, tell us a little bit about this fight.
Well, that's the first one. Kind of basic tutorial. Again, similar kind of battle systems to the where we have this main HP bar that fills up over time, and then you slot your abilities, which have the bar costs, and then fire strings execute. This fight's pretty basic, like it's strength and best damage.
Not kidding around, huh?
But basically, we just grab my choice.
Yeah, so Umbral Vice is this attack that we start using at this point, and it's for this reason that we're using this Alder Shield. It gives a full restore. If this weren't a marathon and I were more inclined, I would probably not bother to try to get lucky and not die.
It just costs a couple seconds to do that. Well, a bunch of seconds. Then you could just spend casting lightning strikes and killing it. And you can always reset. It's only a couple minutes in.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, there's already enough RNG in this run that we don't really need to introduce more unnecessarily.
So that was a good tutorial battle. Let's have another one.
Yep.
So within those cutscene skips are what were called life triggers, I think.
Time for a real
this
fight.
one,
Execution triggers. I don't remember the exact word it is, but it's basically QTEs. And that would have been the intro to QTE. But we skipped it.
Yep. Quick time event tutorial.
So in these intro fights, we start with 6 ETB segments. Don't get used to that.
Or for that matter, having lightning as a character.
or Odin.
Gonna get worse.
This is Bahamut now, actually. Odin was in the first fight. Bahamut was in the second fight. Because Lightning is now... What is she now? She's a warrior of Etro.
Yeah.
And she has all of the Eidolons from 13 at her disposal.
Unfortunately, Chaos Bahamut is brand new, and as we know, new things are more powerful because that's how inflation works.
Sure. In Chaos Bahamut, it's also a weird case. He's not technically an Eidolon, but that's a whole mess that we don't need to get into.
Yeah, much like 13, you can skip all the cutscenes in this game, which is, well, sort of.
No.
Yeah, because there's a couple that are special in this game because of the live triggers.
More than a couple.
Well, okay, a lot.
There are several. The
But
best
yeah,
of which is after a
otherwise-
fight ends, but before you see the results. We'll get there.
That one's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise you can skip all the cutscenes, which means we're skipping the vast majority of the story, so hopefully you didn't want spoilers, because you're not getting any.
Well, there's still dialogue, at least.
Unfortunately, I don't think we have enough time in the whole marathon to explain this game properly, so story-wise, that is.
Oh, it's okay. We'll just run it twice. Right? We have enough time for that?
Well, that's right. It says 13-2, right?
Yeah.
We're running it twice. You're supposed to run 13
No, it's because half the length.
twice. Oh, of course. These jokes are really bad. We gotta find better material.
Sometimes you just have to go with it, you know, K, Sarah, Sarah.
You know, I said that I wasn't going to commit physical violence at this marathon, so I'm really tempted.
He lasted 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Good job.
Oh, goodness.
All right, so this is Sarah, and one of our 2 main protagonists.
And yes, this is the same Sarah from FF13.
Also, you can
Fighting
jump in
system.
this game. Woo!
You
can
manually jump
yes,
in
on
this game.
demand.
13 had auto jump.
I don't
13-2
count
is
that.
manual jump, and it sometimes is annoying. All right, so now we are at 3 ATB segments, but we have paradigms.
This is a very pleasant change of pace from Final Fantasy XIII, where they basically give you none of the actual combat system until 2 chapters in, which is like 30 minutes to speedrun even.
3.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Do you even play 13 Villages?
No, not really. Well, when I say 2, like 2 after the beginning. Come on. 1 plus 2. There you go. Anyway, so yeah, you have roles right now. You have paradigms. You can actually shift. It does want to give you a tutorial, but he already knows how to do it, so we're skipping that, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave me the tutorial for paradigm shifting after I already did a paradigm shift, so that's sort of a recurring trend.
Yeah. Also, while the kind of, again, base battle system is very similar and the menu structure is very similar, a lot of the animations are kind of a lot choppier. Not choppier. That's not really the right word, but like, everything's a lot more responsive in the menu.
Right.
Things flow a lot faster, it's a lot easier to kind of input things quickly compared to 13. It just generally looks a little flashier as well. Animations were tidied up a bit.
Yeah, they kind of just kicked it up another notch in
Yeah.
this game.
Also, the circle thing in the bottom left corner with a triangle in it will become relevant later, don't worry about it for now.
Is it really relevant ever?
I mean,
it gives you some information, I guess.
there is one menu where we like touch it once and that's it, so I mean, it's fine.
Fair enough.
So you have to just kill all of these fights on the beach right now in order to advance. So that's all it's doing, is just going one by one, finding them, and killing all these little baby Nectons and Mio Nectons.
Yep. And the general flow is like kill 1 or 2 Nectons, stagger the Mia Necton, and then just finish up.
And in case you're wondering, it's not possible to get 5 stars on these intro fights. I only got 3 in that fight.
But it is possible to get some nice item drops.
Man, we're going to have to settle for a 3-star run here.
Oh.
But speaking of it being similar to 13, with the paradigm shifting, are we still getting the ATB refreshes?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
ATB refreshes follow the same rules as 13. The first paradigm shift is an ATB refresh, which refreshes your entire ATB segments with ATBs. I think I used ATB too many times there, but I hope you understand what I mean. And then every 12 seconds after your last ATB refresh is an ATB refresh. The exception is if you are locked into a fight, which we'll explain once we have the Mog clock. When you're locked in, the first ATB shift is not ATB refresh for some reason.
Yeah.
That's your penalty for getting caught by the monsters, I guess.
Sure, that's giving them too much credit.
I mean, I'm sure it was intentional, but it's interesting when like it's not exactly obvious that ATB refreshes are an intended mechanic to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never explicitly stated in the data log. Every 12 seconds, you can get a free ATB shift.
Ultimania would be the one to check for that.
Is that all you're going to tell me, your name?
That said, it's a really nice mechanic that, like, I think a lot of casual players of the 13 series will tend to, well, 1 and 2, will tend to discover ATB refresh sometime during their playthrough, particularly if you do any of the challenge content.
Also, this game's music is great.
Yes, it is.
All right, so a difference in 13-2 as opposed to 13 is that there are no monsters on the field that you just run into. They just randomly spawn in. And when they do, a Mog clock appears, which starts with green and then turns yellow, and then it turns red, and then when you run out of time, then you're locked into the fight. If you run far enough from the enemies, you can despawn them and skip the encounter. You could also strike the enemies before the clock runs out to get a preemptive strike, which gives you some benefits like some chain increase and haste for 24 seconds.
And the nice thing, if you remember in Final Fantasy XIII, when you get a preemptive, you have to hit each enemy one at a time to get your little chain bonus. But in this game, you'll just run forward and like swing your weapons around and everything gets hit.
It's the blitz animation.
So that last monster that spawned is actually started in yellow, and that will happen from time to time. those are the aggressive spawns that start immediate aggro. So when the clock is green, the monsters can't touch Sarah. They don't even move. When it's yellow, they will be charging at her or Noel, and if they come into contact, you initiate a fight. But sometimes you start in yellow, which means that the monster will charge at you immediately, which can be annoying in certain areas, and we'll certainly be seeing that most likely.
Yes, yes. There will be at least one. I guarantee it.
Oh man, there's a boss.
Wow.
So that told us how the Sentinel roll works, but we're not going to use it. We have 4 paradigms, we don't actually use the bottom 2. And we don't have the ability to change our paradigms right now.
Which is why we didn't change any setup for the initial fight either. We don't actually have the ability to go into the menu and mess with it yet.
This fight, pretty straightforward. Burn him to stagger him. And then
Wail on him.
ruin.
Yeah.
Were you timing that shift to get hit during the shift animation?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Noel uses physical attacks, which causes him to leap up into the air, but that swipe attack will hit Noel and interrupt him, and it takes him approximately 54 months for him to hit the ground.
You're not wrong.
I try to avoid him being hit midair as much as possible.
Good policy.
So the name of that boss is Gok Magok. We fight him 3 times total.
You made it. Wait up.
There's a chest there.
Yep. You can see if you turn the camera around, but you can't really turn the camera around at this point, so.
It's interesting that they bring back the sort of forced jump.
Yeah.
When you can manually jump, they still have the little jump circles on the ground.
I guess they're trying to.
Sometimes you can't even jump when you're within the circle. It's not even well placed.
They're just trying to like hint at you, I think, where the correct place is for like
Shouldn't we
a
check it
an
out, though?
unusual jump. But it's really awkward.
Yeah. They got there without harder. Just took them a while.
I do want to bring up a brief spoiler right now while we're chasing a cat, literally.
But it's just a cat. It was also in sync with Sarah. That was nice.
That was pretty good. I gotta give it to you. But basically, the story right now is Noel comes out of Valhalla through time from 700 years in the future to meet Sarah, and is just like, "Hey, like, what's up?" And Sarah's like, "I'm gonna come with you wherever it is you're going." That's the story. Like,
Yeah. It's like lightning does some stuff. Yeah.
Well, Noel comes in and says lightning still lives.
that's true. And so Sarah's just like,
Which
"Of
is
course,
actually
I trust a random stranger on this."
sort of a big plot point because at the end of 13, you know, well, I don't know if you know for sure, but 13 ending spoilers incoming. Fang and Vanille crystallize and form Cocoon's pillar and keeps Cocoon afloat, which has saved everyone from dying. And Lightning, Hope, Saz, and Snow don't. And it's a happily ever afterwards that point. Except when you start 13-2, Lightning is no longer here, and everyone thinks that Lightning was in the crystal pillar, except for Sarah, because it turns out that the timeline changed, and
course.
Sarah, for some reason, is the only one to know the real timeline.
I can help you out with this. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff is the technical explanation of that.
I don't think at any point like people are surprised when Square retcon their own games anymore.
Oh.
You know, that's quite a great explanation. If you guys got time, could I read a couple donations?
I think now's a good time.
I think that was a good time.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Oh, I was hoping this would be a good time to read a couple donations for you.
Go for it.
Awesome, because we are off to a fast start here. And let's start out big then. Jeannot with a $200 donation. Let's kick off the event the good way. It's been a year of waiting since RPG Limit Break 2016. And I hope it'll be even more awesome than last year. Money goes for a new incentive. I there will be singing the beautiful ending scene of Star Ocean 3. But would it still be beautiful then? Much love, everyone. Thank you, Jeannot, for that.
I was worried he was going to say Final Fantasy 13 too. Strange New World at the end of this.
We got a $50 donation from Nemo2342. Just want to say thank you for all of the hard work that goes into these events. I'm proud to support Nami, and I'm looking forward to a great set of speedruns. We got a $25 donation from Anonymous. Love the event since I saw Chrono Cross run last year. Thank you very much, Anonymous. We got a $20 from Nathan. Thanks for putting on this event. Much appreciated. We got a $5 donation from NPC. NPC here voting for Zombie Jeff as Baldur Gate's name. Need brains to speedrun. Hey, we got another $5 donation from NPC. Someone on stream told me to put some money on Terra, so here you go. Let's see. We got another $5 anonymous from, well, it's from Les French Restream. A great event. Here's a starter. Let's make it high.
I don't get it. What was that?
And hey, like I said, we got a whole bunch here. We got a $15 donation from Death. I love RPG speedruns, and this is a good cause to donate. May the RNG gods be with you.
The gate is where the meteorite fell.
And we'll need them. You'll see when, but there is a fair amount of RNG. And, well, specifically, I think 2 points. But
Yeah.
There's no RNG in this game. This is a completely like straightforward.
Keep a look at it.
100% consistent every time.
All right, so I'm coming up to the first menu here. So what are the winners for the outfits so far? Do we know?
I'm glad we found the artifact, but that's not
They're
the
checking it
only
out.
weird thing going on here.
You mean like your
Sorted that
friends?
momentarily. And just for your information, we can change those at a couple points during the run when we find out, but not like constantly. So it'll just depend on whatever's in the lead at the time is when Loot's actually doing a menu.
Sure.
and so you're leveling Ravager here in the Crystarium.
And wow.
Yep, there we go.
All right. Do we have choices yet?
They're still trying to find it. I believe the last I saw, Summoner's Orb and White Mage were tied. So maybe we'll go with you pick the one you want.
I'll pick White Mage.
And I did not see any donations for Noel at the time that we
All right.
saw.
Well, after this fight is another menu, so I can change it.
And if people don't like it, they know what to do to fix it.
RPGLimitBreak.com/donate.
So here's Grimrock again. He has a shield now. It won't really help him much. Maybe a little bit.
So as a refresher on the basic mechanics of how this game kind of works, he's trying to fill that chain bar at the top right of the screen. When it gets to a certain point, then the enemy will become staggered. It's a 100% increase in damage multiplier that he gets.
Yep.
And also we'll have some special effects on some bosses. In this case, it removed his shield, so he's able to deal actual damage to the boss. Mostly he was starting that fight with ruins in order to build up an amount of duration on that chain bar, because it'll decay over time. And ruins will build up more duration rather than Raptor spells. But yeah, once he gets the stagger, ruin does the most damage, so he's just going to destroy it.
Yep. And again, that's part of the reason why Ravager kind of gets upgraded is because we prioritize the magical stat over the physical stat in this game, just because of how the kind of changes in the Crystarium and the fact that you can choose which roles to kind of invest into early means that you can get a lot of really high level kind of Ravager spells really early and just kind of do all kinds of magical damage. But physical doesn't really have the same kind of parity.
It does look like we'll have an update on those costumes now.
Okay, sorry about that. What bid war are we looking for?
It's the Sarah and Noel
Noel,
costumes.
Mog.
And Mog.
The Sarah outfits. Let's see. White Mage is in the lead with $30.
Okay.
Good.
And for Noel?
Beachwear came in second.
Oh,
What about Noel?
And Noel, Black Mage with $25.
all right. And then Mog?
And Mog.
I love the loading indicator there.
Well, because it's loading the image. These are the previews of the Mog outfits.
So these are amazing, dude. Okay, I think we might have a
Yeah,
trouble
we'll come
finding
back to
him,
that
so
later, I
we'll
think.
come
I'm
back
just
to
going to go
Mog.
with Black Mage, because it's my favorite.
Cool.
All right, so trivia. well, I'm going to state a trivia fact, and it's up to you guys to remember it 2 hours from now. The meteor site is located northeast.
Okay, sorry about that. We do have White Mage for Mog.
Oh,
Oh no.
well, he's corrupt now.
Lots of
Black.
mages in the party.
It's all good. We can fix it up later.
It kind of makes sense with all the Ravagers that we have a lot of mage outfits.
Oh man, this is my favorite track in the game. When we get to the
Okay,
main screen,
it's pretty good.
Time and space.
that one. Unfortunately, we are never going to hear a loop of this in this speedrun, but oh well.
So this is the Historia Crux, which is sort of a level selector. It allows you to go to previous regions, like Brescia Ruins 5 AF, for instance. AF stands for After Fall, which basically means after the events of 13. The initial region was New Bodum 3 AF, so 13-2 takes place 3 years after 13, and also 5 years, and also 200 years, and also 4XX years.
10 and 50,
Good old
500, and
4XX.
400, and 700. And question
4XX
mark.
will make sense at some point.
Really? Maybe not in this run.
Time travel, don't worry about it.
So this is Paradox Alpha. It's a hand.
The invisible giant.
Yes, there is a body attached to that hand.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. It's just a hand.
I just see a hand.
The thing from the Addams Family really buffed up.
Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do.
Oh, goodness. So he's mostly just ruining this boss because he's not going to stagger it. Might as well just throw roads.
And this cussy's just on the HP barrier, so it's just gonna do whatever it can.
Okay.
Okay. So
We
that gives us some
saw
buffs.
our first quick time event, and those actually have battle effects.
Yep.
This is, I think, the only fight that has a consequence. Sarah now has faith, and Noel now has bravery, which hints at the fact that Sarah is better with magic and Noel is better with strength, regardless of how we're magic specking both of them. And then this QTE, once you do it correctly, staggers.
Oh, wow. An invisible giant.
Whoa! It is an invisible giant.
Who could have imagined?
Yeah, see now you see we were doing like, significantly more damage than we were. Actually taking chunks out of him.
I really
I'll
love
be
all
sure
the vocal songs in this, this soundtrack.
They really did put in a lot more vocals compared to 13.
And the lyrics are just amazing. If
Yeah.
you listen to the lyrics, like,
Yeah. Fun fact, in the original Japanese version of this area's tune, there is lyrics, but there is not in the Western
yes.
releases. And they're pretty good lyrics, actually.
yeah, if you got the soundtrack with the collector's edition, the lyrics are on that.
Or just buy the soundtrack anyway.
So this is a quick time event for firing a gun. Congratulations, you did it. Good job.
And as a result, we're getting lots of HP damage numbers on the screen, which serve literally no purpose, because the fight's over regardless. This does happen several times.
Video games are great.
I guess you don't know that damage is being done unless you see a big number tick on the screen.
I mean, at least it's consistent. Right?
Yeah.
Especially after the fight. You really gotta know that damage is done.
And now you're arrested.
Yeah, so here's a cutscene skip, and then a cutscene skip, and then a cutscene skip.
There's
and then-
actually like a somewhat lengthy portion that's skipped in this.
Yeah, there's a couple of live triggers and some cutscenes kind of explaining what's going on, but
Agreed.
So this is Alyssa.
okay, we got the skip, it's fine.
We don't like Alyssa. Well, lots of people don't like Alyssa for various reasons.
She has probably the best joke ending, though.
Basically, she's a spy. Or a mole, or something.
Wow.
Spoilers.
Yeah, this
Why did
is
you offer to stop
ruining
the
my
giant?
spoiler.
Entire
free
game is
experience.
ruined. All right, let's move on to the next game.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
That's got lightning returns. That's a much more consistent
Like the
speed
gate
run.
to Valhalla?
So this is a forced encounter with an adorable cat in a box and a squirt. I don't know how to describe it otherwise.
Well, I think at some point they are actually called Schrodinger's.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a different version.
Yeah. Those are the ones in the final dungeon, actually.
So as a result of this fight, he's going to get crystal for, I think, both, right?
Yep.
Yes.
He's going to get a crystal for both monsters. And in this game, your third party member, since you only have Sarah and Noel, your third party member is a summoned monster, basically. And you can have any monster with certain limitations, as
Right.
long as you defeat enough to collect a crystal. It's not really a count thing, it's just a percentage chance thing.
Yep.
So now he has a Kate Sith and he has a Zwerg Scandroid.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, so like boss monsters can't drop crystals, but most, if not all, randomly can just
Figures.
and this will be very important. Like the kind of monster that he's able to bring along with him is going to matter a lot. He's going to be able to have up to 3 different monsters. Oh, really?
That's fine.
I guess
That was an aggressive spawn, which is harder to evade, but I managed to evade it because I'm good. No, I'm not. That was random.
He's holding a straight line.
Sometimes they just spawn on top of you and you can't do a darn thing.
Yep.
That time I got lucky.
So you collected an artifact there. You wanted to explain a little bit about what those do.
Artifacts unlock gates, and that allows us to traverse to new regions. Ooh, that's the enemy I want.
Nice. That's a good encounter.
So I'll finish that topic once I talk about this, which is the fight that we're trying to fight. We want this enemy. This guy is called Nectin. We're trying to get his crystal, and you can tell when a crystal is spawned if they light up all white and make a certain sound. They didn't that time. Now I retried the fight instead of killing the last one because this gives me more chances at getting this crystal.
right. Without having to rely on.
So that's
Oh.
the crystal right there.
Nice.
Beautiful.
So getting that within 2 fights is pretty good.
What are the chances on that, by the way?
It's a 15% chance per Nectin.
So that's like the best encounter to get for it. The 4 Nectins.
Excellent.
Now
Also,
we
if you're
can-
wondering what that thing on the upper left is, that's the autosave indicator, and
Yeah.
it doesn't normally last this long, but
I'm a
it
little
does
bit worried
sometimes
about
glitch out. I mean, it's not a bad thing, I think, in my experience. It just stays
Alright.
there forever.
You're making me nervous now. Like-
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So he's gonna be able to have in his paradigm pack. It's called. There you go.
See,
that's-
when they spawn on top of you, you can't do a thing.
Yep, that was
So-
exactly what he was talking about.
There are a few options. I could try to dodge, but I'm in a very tight spot, so I'm going to Crux out instead, where I return to the story of Crux, and I return to the area, and this gets rid of the spawn at the expense of having to stare at this massive
Mess.
expanse of
You're not even spinning the thing
things.
around.
Oh
Come
yeah,
on.
I can do that. That's fine.
I have no idea why they implemented the ability to do this.
Something
Probably
to do.
because you're seeing the screen so much that they wanted you to do something.
Have a mini game
Especially
while you're
on
waiting on the load.
console.
Also, these follow dual inverted controls. Fun fact.
Hey man, best control system.
We are running this on PC.
Yep. The load times are a lot faster. So if you think that was slow, just imagine something slower than that. That's what the experience is like on a PS3 or a
360.
Yeah, 360 without it being installed, I think, is the slowest version of the game in terms of load times.
Or 0.
Yeah. 360 disc, PS3 disc, and then 360 install, PSN, and then PC.
Of course, running this game on a PC is a challenge in and of itself.
Yes.
But
Well,
that's,
running it, not so much. Running it well,
that's true.
it's a different question.
All right, so this thing here is, I don't know what a temporal rift, that's what it's called. It's basically puzzles
The cheat sheet
that
there
are just shoehorned in. This puzzle involves getting all of these crystals with only stepping on each tile at most once. This puzzle is super difficult, even for experienced runners.
What do I do?
I failed it once. It was embarrassing. These puzzles don't change.
Okay, we good.
All right, hype. Oh man.
Hey, Lewd. I thought I would take a chance to talk about the incentives real quick and read a couple donations. Keep in mind, the outfits are a rolling incentive, so they can change at any time. I believe we have a new outfit for Mog with a $25 donation. from Medigo. This game is full of paradoxes, and Evil Mog seems appropriate, right? Put it towards the Devil Mog.
Nice.
And that puts Devil Mog in the lead with $25 over $6 for White Mage. Also, remember, you could still end up changing the outfit for Chi-Chu, or naming Chi-Chu and Gohangus and Nekton later on.
You can
right-
actually name Nekton
yeah,
now,
Nekton's
actually.
Oh yeah, well that's good news because we got a Jeff in the lead with $10.
Good.
So Nekton will be Jeff,
The only right answer.
and Chi-Chu and Gohangus are still up for grabs if anyone wants to grab them. And currently, right now, Noel is still a $25 over 0 for the Black Mage outfits, and Sarah's outfit is still is $40 over Beach Wear, which is $15. Obviously, you guys know what's going on, right? You know what you need to do.
Beachwear is awful. Do not do it.
There's also a option to donate for which DLC Super Boss, and right now Gilgamesh is winning with $55, and Velford99 is right behind with $50.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
And while we're at that, since we're talking, some good stuff here, how about from Gunarm Dine, a $500 donation.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome, man, awesome. I've seen you around here. Happy to be here and help out the event this year. Good luck to all the runners and staff for keeping things running smoothly. Let's give Nami a big hand in breaking that donation goal. And for those who are new to the stream, we are RPG Limit Break 2017, and we are here in Salt Lake City, Utah, to raise money for Nami. Oh,
Just missed it. There we go. There you go.
All right.
For the National Alliance on Mental Health.
Oh, I needed to change.
Because May is
Devil.
Mental Health Month,
there
so this is the best. This is a great time to raise awareness, and you can do so on Twitter. Just use the hashtag Mental Health Month.
Cool. So we got the Atlas fight coming up here.
Yeah.
It was a lot easier since he went downstairs and did the temporal rest.
Yeah. So in that menu, he just added Nekton into Paradigm Pack, Jeff, I should say, which gives us another Ravager, and Nekton's pretty fast Ravager, pretty helpful in this fight, since we want to stagger him as soon as possible.
Speaking of Nekton, why did we pick that monster to put in our party?
Having a Ravager is pretty useful right now for our third monster slot, and Nekton provides the benefit of being the, I want to say, the fastest caster that's available right now. I don't know if that's fully accurate, but if there's other options, they aren't as easy or cheap to upgrade. Older routes used a different monster called Gremlin, who had a much higher magic stat, but cast atrociously slow. Whereas Nekton goes, Blizzard, Thunder, Blizzard. Gremlin goes, Blizzard, Thunder.
Oh, no. You
Oh, I
got
failed
hit.
that. Oh, no, shoot. Ah, got distracted. No. I'm kidding. That was intentional. Failing that particular one skips the next two inputs, which makes this slightly faster. That's the only instance where we intentionally mess that up.
Move! I think I found his weak spot.
All right, then.
Ready?
You don't say.
That gets weak spot on massive damage.
You would have to flip it over.
See, if I were a monster, I would make a massive glowing spot. That's my strong spot.
Agreed. Good fight. Nice and quick.
Yeah, the fight itself's quick. Cutscene's not so much.
Listen, we took Atlas down. That
That's
place
a
you're
recurring
looking
theme.
for is right in front of us.
Also, if you hate the rain effects that you see, good news. Weather's going to change.
Bad news, there's more rain later.
So for whatever reason, these cutscenes are not skippable. Maybe to not let you miss where these particular items are. And they are important because they're both artifacts.
You said the artifacts open gates. What do these gates do for you?
They are both gates that proceed with the story. so they're mandatory.
Yeah, so in each area there's various
Mud.
time gates which you have to open to gain access to other areas. Some of them are optional, some of them are mandatory. A lot of the optional ones use kind of like a more generic kind of artifact called a wild artifact. But a lot of the story-driven ones, and even well, a couple of the optional ones have actual named artifacts.
Yeah, so the Eclipse artifact is going to unlock the gate to Yasha's Massif 10 AF. And then this one is going to open the gate to Sunless Water's Gate 300 AF.
Oh, I did not know you could pick that up from the Chocobo.
Yep.
Nice.
You can't
Way to
do
go,
the mod
bobblehead.
search from Chocobo,
Right.
but
Now
you
for
can
the
extract
gate.
stuff as well.
Yeah, mod search, by the way, is most useful like feature of the game. It's just where he sends Mog near some like obscured item, something paradoxes time rift, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
And presses a button and Mog reveals it because that, of course, is
Yep.
totally reasonable.
Oh, you also can't interact with gates on the Chocobo. I feel
We
like.
unwrap.
Don't want to bring a Chocobo along with you. That might be useful.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get a ride on?
Yes.
Excellent.
Don't worry.
Excellent.
It'll be
Just
there.
you wait.
Oh, I'm waiting.
I might be waiting a while.
It's pretty much the only reason I'm here, to be honest.
Yeah, I respect it.
So we're making a brief return to New Bodom to pick up an item that we couldn't get earlier because we didn't have Moogle Hunt.
And it's also an item we don't need until very, very late in the game.
Yes. Later on, we're going to need to do a massive fetch quest, and we're just going to do it along the way because why backtrack?
Is there any particular reason we do it right now as opposed to later? Like, is it
Encounter
faster?
manipulation,
Ah, perfect.
which I'm sure we'll explain in a moment when it actually happens.
I love the Chocobo effects off screen.
Come on, Mog.
Alright, so now I'm going to run around for a bit until a monster spawns. And then I Crux out. So monster spawns are based sort of on step count. The more steps you've taken since your last encounter, the more likely that a new one will spawn. So by forcing a spawn there and Cruxing out, we reset our step count to 0, so we're going to be able to run deeper into the next area without getting a monster spawn.
Which is important due to how the next area works.
Yes. We kind of need to time that spawn well enough.
You need to unlock it first, so it's back here with the Chocobo. Then off to the other gate, which you can unlock.
Unfortunately, once you've opened a gate, you can just go to that place on the Historia Crux.
Yep.
You don't have to like go back to the gate again, which would be pretty awful.
Yes.
Would be awful.
It would. Yeah. Especially since there's no return gates either, so you'd be kind of stuck.
You can only proceed forward in this game.
There are return gates. I don't know. Like, there's a gate when you first... I'll show you.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, there is. Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah.
Fortunately, one of us runs this game.
I used to. I still got further than you.
I mean, it's not...
That's accurate.
Oh, I have to figure that. I guess it's not, like, fully well known because, like, why would you bother interacting with this thing when you can
true.
just go back to the Historia Crux?
Yep.
But there is a gate at the start of each area that takes you back to the Historia Crux.
yeah, so it's not. Yeah, it's not like a return gate in the same sense, but yeah, there are gates at the start of areas. Whatever, close enough. It's fine.
All right, so now we're 10 years in 13's future.
Yeah, I would say this area is 10 AF.
10 after fall.
That's what I said, man.
Yeah?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so before I run anywhere, there's the gate.
Yep.
I mean, the correct lesson here is never listen to Maelstrom.
Yeah. Sure.
Sorry, what was that? I wasn't listening. I was told not to listen, so.
You learn the collect lesson. You're good.
Now the reason that we manipulated that encounter to spawn before is because
Wow.
Well,
This is usually a behemoth, which is a
Yeah.
passive spawn. This guy is not passive, and is probably going to be problematic. Yeah, that's not going to work. So, in this region, in the Twilight Zone, the Mog Clock expires twice as fast. Unless you're standing in direct light, in which case the Mog Clock goes back to full time and the monsters don't move. So, like the game sort of directs you, you should only run in the searchlights and avoid going out of the searchlights. But we're speedrunners, so we break the rules.
also there's treasure. Everyone wants treasure.
Yeah, this treasure is important because it's going to be used to level Necton.
and how you level monsters is based on items.
Yeah, so whereas Sarah and Noel get experience in fights, monsters don't. To upgrade monsters, you have to purchase parts or use parts that were dropped from other fights to upgrade them. So before we discuss anything further, I just want to make mention of a special meme that's been referenced several times, which is 54. If you have no idea what it is, don't worry, because I have one that is 10 times better. 540! Okay. I had to make sure I timed that well.
To like rehearse the timing for that.
You know, speaking of 54, I did get a $54 donation from Curiums that simply said 54.
Agreed.
Enough said.
Indeed.
So Yasha's Massif has a ton of aggro spawns. So
Yep. Those flying plant things are especially annoying because they can actually catch you pretty easily.
yep.
They're also like just in general, they're pretty annoying like casually to fight.
Yeah.
But we'll get there.
So I could have just tried to run away from them for as long as possible, but if the Mog Clock expires, I'm forced to fight them. I can't retry to get out. And so that would waste more time than just going back to the story of Crux.
Yep. At that point, your only option is to win the fight or quit and take effectively the game over, which will force you to reload your last save.
So we got a bunch of CP here that we're spending, and it's pretty important to spend these points in the early game because we're getting, like, relative to our base stats, we're getting significant boosts to our magic. The next fight is probably one of the first hard fights of the game. A low die.
Yeah. It's definitely the first kind of complicated one to learn.
So much Ravager, you'd think it was a Chapter 10 menu.
Nice. Good reference that most of the viewers won't get.
Did I change my default? I don't think I did. Oh, we're good. Okay.
So at the beginning of this fight, it's actually random whether he does D-Shelga or D-Bottega, right?
Yes. And Dishoga's the bad one.
It's not that bad. It's annoying.
It's worse than Deportago. So if he does Deportago, then he'll use physical skills, which is a swipe. And if he does Shoga, he'll use Ruinga, which has the annoying advantage of launching people, as you just saw. You don't really want to deal with. So. Also does a bit more damage, so you have to be a bit more careful.
Yeah, the HPs look low, but it's okay. This is fine.
Everything's fine, dude. I'm not scared at all right now. See? Easy. I mean, you did have like 30 HP though.
29 more than you need.
Keep calm and D-Shelga on.
Yeah, so after a fixed number of attacks, he'll do another debuff and then continue the same kind of pattern. So just kind of knowing that that exists means that when we get to that point, we don't really have to be worried about HP anymore.
Things to note in combat that you're going to see a lot in this run. He's going to do a lot of raw and gut level spells to deal a crap load of damage because obviously he's just going hardcore on Ravager.
They also have better chaining than base level spells.
Right. Is that
not-
specific to after you stagger, or?
Yes.
Right.
It's not just because
What?
we're leveling Ravager.
What is Hope
There's also doing things called roll buffering or com buffering.
Right, which he only did really, I think, once that I saw during that fight, but we can talk about that in a future fight because there will be a lot of combo buffering later.
Yeah.
It'll become much more prevalent in the next area.
So if you got a moment, could I go ahead and read a few more donations for you?
Go for it.
Thank you. We got $5 from Kupo Kyle. Final Fantasy puns for Final Fantasy speedruns. Hey, what does a Moogle drink in the morning? A Kupo coffee. Hey, bro, sent ya. Oh. We got $50 from Perfectly Acceptable. I was so excited for this, I stubbed my toe running to the TV. I've also got PTSD, so I'm so happy to support Nami. I swear that couch is an Salt Lake City staple. I had the same exact couch when I lived there, and so did several of my friends. Hypezilla!
This couch is amazing.
It's
by the
really
way.
nice.
It's actually really comfortable.
Lewd isn't going to get to discover that, though.
It looks very comfortable. We got a $20 donation from
comfortable.
We can
Kai.
make it room.
It looks from here. From Kaio's Little Monster. Shout out to my boy LewdDolphin. Have a great run. 54!
Thank you, Kios.
And a donation.
And we have a $100 donation
Nice.
from Vulshock Sorcerer. Hey, Lewd. Glad I was able to catch your marathon live this time. Excited to see what you do with Final Fantasy XIII-2. And I hope it's as exciting as your 13 run from last marathon. Good luck, Nathan.
Me too. I hope it's exciting.
This is a fun dodge.
I don't think you're going to do any blindfolded fights this time, are you?
Nope.
You sure? Velfoder, maybe?
Okay.
Sounds good.
So you changed leader there. Is there what's the point between choosing one leader over the other?
In this next fight, one of the Gandiaks target Noel, they target the party leader, and we gave Sarah the Saboteur role with the recent Crystarium bonus. So if we want Sarah to be able to inflict D-Shell, we don't want her to get interrupted by the Gandiaks.
All right.
Oh. So we're trying to get a particular spawn now.
Not that one.
Not this one. This is the bad one.
So earlier we mentioned that this game has no RNG and is very consistent.
All right, so I'm in the dead zone. So they didn't despawn, but when I retry, they should despawn.
Yeah, they won't come back again, hopefully.
And this is
Yeah.
one of those times when this game is very consistent because he's going to be trying to spawn a Gahungus, which is a great name, a giant bird-like enemy that we want to catch.
That's also not
Wow.
good.
Those are dogs.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, those are some fun dogs.
This is RNG. It is really not good.
But yeah, this is just kind of part of the bargain of running this game is that you've got to do this because having Gahungus is just so much faster than the alternatives. That's worth the
And why is
Time
Gahungus
risk.
faster?
Because he is a synergist that learns bravery and faith. And in 13-2, oh my, I didn't even realize this was the same spawn. I swear there are Gahungus spawns right here. So Gahungus is a synergist that learns bravery and faith. Sarah and Noel never learn bravery or faith. They only learn defensive buffs. So, and bravery and faith in this game is more potent than they were in 13. They multiply your strength and magic by 1.75, I want to say. This should be it.
Yeah, there we go.
Alright, it's the same deal where he has to kill the Gahungus and then see if it drops the crystal. And if it doesn't, he's going to retry. But now that he's got this encounter, he can just retry at will, so... Yep, that's what you're going to see right now.
Gahungus also has a really powerful feral link, which gives us a lot of buffs, which is very helpful in a few fights.
And what's the chance on Gahungus?
20%. Higher than Nectin, but it takes longer to get through each chance.
It's also a lot less likely to get multiple Gahunguses in the same spawn compared to Nectin.
Ah. How much are you donating per attempt here?
How much are you donating first?
You know, I haven't quite prepared for that, so I'm not sure.
If I were rich, I would be donating. Nope.
You know, Gahongas is a great name, but you know what's a better name? Illuminati.
Is that the Gahongas lead right now?
Illuminati is in the lead with a $10, followed by Jeff with 4.
Ah, okay, I messed that up. Couldn't switch the target because of issues.
So yeah, here you can really see the Grimrock is going up the knoll and everything else is controlling.
Alas. Again, what he's looking for here is like a white flash when he goes to Gahongas, and that indicates that the crystal is going to drop.
Yeah, normally when you kill an enemy, they like burn up, and it's like a black effect. But if you have the crystal drop, it's a white effect instead, and the actual crystal will spawn and like float up a little bit. That's kind of hard to see, especially with like this fight where everything's a mess. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can barely see the crystal hidden behind the Gandiax there, but you can clearly see the white flash from the enemy side.
You can also hear the crystal sound too, which is sometimes easier to listen for.
Oh,
Wow.
of course, sure. Of course, Gandiax is completely worthless. We don't really care about that, but Gahongas is what we wanted, and we got it, so now we'll be able to move on.
So that's actually the last time that we're going to modify paradigms in this game. So we're teaching Gahongas
seriously?
faith,
Yep.
and by Gahongas I of course meant Illuminati.
So you got a moment for me to read a few more?
Go for it.
Awesome. We have a 154-cent donation from Little Sharky. It's great to see Lou and the 13 community back at RPG Limit Break. On a serious note, my wife decided to get help this year and had to go to the general doctor for a referral. That doctor happened to also do skin cancer screening, and what he found possibly saved her life. Anyone who encourages others to get help for mental illness deserves all of this money. And in addition to 54 cents, 54
Thank you, Sharky.
We have
Thanks,
a $25 donation from the parents of Lewd.
Yo.
No comment, but we just thought we'd throw that out there.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
A $10 donation from Valara. Here's to a great start to RPG Limit Break 2017. Good luck to all the runners and a great time for everyone involved. Thank you very much. And we have a $25 donation from Zanzaham. Hey guys, very glad to help raise awareness for the challenges facing people who unfortunately suffer from a mental illness. Keep on running and I'll keep on watching. Also put the money towards getting Macho Man
Why did she
arc in
react the way she
Terranigma.
did?
Just to point out that autosave icon still hasn't gone away.
That is one gigantic monster.
I did not even notice.
Pretty sure it's been there the entire time.
No, it's gone away.
Oh, I did.
It's just reemerged.
Okay, there,
Oh,
yeah,
it's
all right.
good. That's done.
You scared the crap out of me, dude. Please stop.
I think it like resets when it like starts autosaving again, and then that one actually terminates or something. All right, so here's one of the few fights where we're going to be buffering a lot, which is to say we're going to be casting these 2 Aurora spells and then shifting into the aggression paradigm real quick, because that's going to double the damage of the Auroras.
Yeah, if you look real close, you might have seen like a 4,000 pop up there. That was from the Aurora. And it's just a huge damage boost. You switch from Ravager, where you have these high damage spells, to Calm, where you get a big damage boost just from being in that role.
Yeah, and the reason that works is because damage is calculated when the spell hits, but it's then done using your stats at the time when the spell hits and not when you cast it.
That is not aggression.
Oh, you know what? I can actually see the back.
Yeah, see? I'm not making this up. This song's so good.
So the fun thing is that, at least on my PC, sometimes what Snow says here, do it, lines up with the song saying do it.
Beautiful.
Just do it! Do it! Don't let your flans be flans. And then more random numbers.
Without those random numbers, you could not have possibly killed this boss. Thank
Those were on a
goodness.
scale of about 900, which is much less than the 6,000.
Don't take that away from the game.
It's trying its hardest, dude.
You go to war with the army you got.
These funds are really adorable.
Hey, Mog, what's got your attention?
Must be that vine. Got it. If we get stuck, just look for a vine. Hey, no.
I mean, yeah, the small ones are fine, the big ones not so much.
Younger than me.
Like that giant one off to the left there? Yeah.
I meant more like the taller ones.
Long live Flanader.
This plan
So now we're
adds
just
up
gonna be running
anytime
around for a
soon,
bit.
huh?
Go for Zola.
Forgot about those.
We
Alright.
just skipped an entire traversal across the chasm by a monster that looks, or
It's like a Bandersnatch.
It looks like the Flanner are
Yeah.
in that
Wood Wraith.
direction.
a wood
That-
wraith
that
callback
one,
to a
yeah.
13 fight.
Considering this was also in the Sunlit Waters game. Where you fought the first.
Thank you, and I will. Yeah.
Yep.
Look at these guys. They sure know how to stay in line.
So, Snow is there.
Don't worry about it.
It won't last that long.
He's got
so-
different clothes
This
and better
is where
hair
they
now,
were all
but that's
trying
not
to
the
get
point.
to.
I'm not sure. Well, I guess his hair was pretty crappy before,
Break up the
so.
party and get our artifact.
Someone said his hair is crappy here.
They have bad
Their opinion must be wrong.
This'll show you.
Noel going pretty serious on these tiny, adorable little flames.
Hey man, that's how they get you.
So-
False security.
There's actually something pretty useful and important to mention here, which is that with his paradigms loots, you might notice that they're all called like Tri-Disaster W and so on W. Luke's set up in his paradigm pack to tune the paradigms to be wide, which means the targeting will try to hit more enemies or try to spread out the targeting so that, you know, more different enemies are being hit. And so in the case of Ravagers, for example, it will prioritize using raw spells. So even his AI partners will want to do multi-target spells and things like that.
He does have cross-tuning on aggression though.
Right.
Because usually the times when we want to deal as much damage is on single target enemies anyway. So just making sure the AI is doing single target stuff is better.
It's a nice little refinement on the like the paradigm AI system in 13. Like just a little bit of a difference where it turns out to make a huge impact.
Yep. And that's what that circle in the bottom left corner is for. It indicates the tuning of the paradigm you have active.
Calling all the way back to the beginning there.
I didn't get a chance to mention it earlier.
Oh man. Are we already doing the bonus fight? Nice.
Yeah, I got
Sure.
impatient.
So that's fair.
No, this is the in-game Coliseum, which is really lame. Honestly, it is really lame. There's like, you only get a fragment here. That's its only purpose.
And a chest.
Well, I meant more in terms of like its intended purpose. I don't know. Yeah, there's a chest here we're gonna pick up. It's gonna
I can't
give us
believe it
monster
worked.
materials for Chi-Chu later.
Lucky Diddy's open to reason.
So that's a Moogle throw is what I did. If you're wondering what was the magic tomfoolery that just happened, we got fed up with Mog, so we threw him away.
If only
If
he wouldn't
only.
come back.
Yeah.
But he gave us power slivers.
Dude, he's so
As a
happy that you
bribe.
threw him away. He's like, here's some slivers, thanks.
You know, I heard Chi-Chu,
Oh,
and
man.
I got a $10 donation from Roosta here. This, I was gonna donate later, but this was before I could know I could name Chi-Chu Solomon. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to tell you, but Jeff has $154 and Solomon only has 15. So I think we're a little bit a ways from being able to name him Solomon.
Well, we have good news for you, which is that Chi-Chu's not for a little while. So you got an
Yeah.
opportunity to catch up there.
Definitely something the 12 community could get behind. I don't think we have a cake for Chi-Chu though.
It's okay. Chichu makes his own cake. Or at the very least, he makes the game cake.
Oh my goodness. So, Sunleth. This place is nice. Hey, look, it's that same dude again.
See, you know what else is nice, Fooligan?
What's nice?
You know what's actually great is, of course, the Yeti.
Agreed.
You know, the Yeti has been hugely supportive of RPG Limit Break. And I just like to let you guys know that this year they actually have 9 different T-shirts based on the games that you're going to see here this week. And every time you buy a T-shirt, they give $3 from each of those T-shirts to Nami. So, you know, you guys should go check them out because I'm definitely going to be buying a few of them. And if you're interested, you could go to theyeti.com. That's YETEE /RPG Limit Break.
The best part about that is we'll be getting their donations of the funds from those shirts over the course of the event. You'll get to enjoy their comments, and they'll help contribute to some of our bid wars as well. So, you know, maybe your purchase through the Yeti will result in someone getting named Jeff.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the main focus is for this year.
Well, I heard that somebody doesn't want to play Terra, so I'm not saying anything here. I'm just very loudly implying it.
This'll show you.
Yeah, this will show you. So what are we even doing right now?
We're getting fragments.
You know, fragments sound like a great time to read a few more donations.
Go for it. We're just running around.
Awesome. I have a $4 donation from Casa. I hope I'm saying that right.
Yep.
And tell that LewdDolphin that I'm watching and judging immensely. Fungineer!
You're not the only one, don't worry.
Just kidding. Just tell him good luck and he's doing awesome. Represent that 13-2 community.
Well, I'm going to judge him harshly for that comment.
Yeah. We have a $10 donation from Control Soul. FF13-2 is my favorite of the 13 trilogy. Thank you all for this wonderful event, and shout out to Lewd. They got a $100 donation from Neon Elephant, which just says, paradoxes must break. Let's see, Biscuit Mouth with a $5.54 donation. Hey everyone, thank you for ruining my sleep schedule with an amazing event. Best of luck to LewdDolphin. Don't worry about losing time on that Zenobia. Kappa. Put that donation towards naming Tifa after our French Final Fantasy VII heroine, Cart 7. Have a great week, guys. We got a $10 donation from Dine Nuitara. Sorry if I messed that up. Nuitari. Good luck on the run, Lewd. Something some people in this room might not like, but a $20 donation from Anonymous that just says, all hail Demon Chocobo.
What's going on?
Good idea.
Unfortunately, there's no FF6 this time, so we're not going to see a Demon Chocobo.
I was sure you were
say
going
that.
We'll see a crazy Chocobo.
Yes.
Why you guys got to ruin it like that? Come on.
I mean, we have a Demon Mog at least.
You guys think you can ruin this Chocobo?
I'm sure you've snuck something into one of the layouts. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
The gentleman does not implement a layout and tell. Sheep. Those sheep are really adorable, by the way.
Just you wait.
You're being pretty
Yeah.
dystopian. There's a lot of, like, cute animal designs.
Yeah. I mean, if you think highly of the sheep, you never got this far learning the game.
Well, yeah. I mean, I at the same time, I understand.
Alright, so this is the Arkild Step.
Go exterminate
Not the same Arkild Step area from 13, but it's still a big, vast expanse. We're gonna fight some monsters.
But not those.
Not those. Those are the
Other
wrong
ones.
ones. These
Yep.
are the right ones.
That's really jarring.
Yep. So the chief kind of gives you a little side quest to go kill some goblins. And instead of having them be on the field by default, it's whichever spawn you get within a certain radius of that exclamation mark, like the next enemy that spawns will be correct height.
I can see still on Blizzard, on the Saga.
A lot of comp buffering.
A lot of these enemies are weak to ice, so the Zaga combo buffering is super effective. That was really good.
That was really fun.
And then there's a flan for some reason.
Don't worry about the flam religion.
Too easy.
Alright, so we're going to touch this Cactuar. There's a strange aura, so we're going to touch it.
What the?
Wait, what?
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
Dialogue in this game.
But this is the hunter's camp. How did we get back here?
Wow. Back in a flash.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
Alright, so if you love sheep, pay attention to the next minute. Oops. Where are the sheep? I don't know, where are the sheep? Did you see any sheep?
I mean, there's like a bunch back there.
Maybe
near the
over here.
NPC.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Dude, the noises though, they're so cute.
So that item's not really important, but it attracts sheep.
Specifically throwing
Or
the
rather,
tracks.
yeah, Moogle throw, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
There you go.
And the reason he's kind of not moving around is because if we get into encounter when Mog's been thrown away, then the clock goes up really fast and you can get stuck very easily. Which, as we mentioned earlier, is not a good thing.
There's the third sheep.
He wants to talk to you. I think that's what that icon means.
Sure.
I think it's just mute. Fluffy wool.
Oh.
Would that make its intentions a mute point?
It's not even how you pronounce that.
It had to work for the pun.
Did it though?
Alright, so
sheep.
these people have no idea what's causing the storm, even though they have a weather controlling device right here.
This is a video game.
Definitely a video.
So, the reason that we're even here is because the giant flan that we saw in the previous area is a paradox, and he's getting flan from a different time, which happens to be from the Arkhilt step, I think. And
Yeah.
the monster that appears here, Feral, is eating flan and sending them to Sunlith Waterscape somehow. Game logic, I guess.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey and stuff.
So we made him spawn, but if we ran towards him during the sunny weather, a Longui will appear in front of us, which is not what we want. So we changed the weather to stormy, and then we don't have to fight Longui.
Did you learn to fight like that while you traveled?
Yes. Yes, we did.
Are we doing that because it would take a long lead time to find? I'm mostly doing this to torment religion.
It's working. Feral. Let's fight Feral.
This fight fun.
It's a shame you can't capture one of those before you fight him, and then you can fight Feral with Feral.
You can't even capture a Feral, unfortunately. So this is a fun fight. He spends a lot of time charging up. Then he does this super attack that launches everyone. That's not Blizzara Blizzaga. We're trying to combo for Blizzara Blizzaga. He's weak to ice. And thunder, but ice is easier to combo for.
Yeah, Thunder has a much faster class time.
You're seeing some rather large numbers up there compared to what he normally does.
Oh, wow, that was close.
Nah, it's not.
But no, everything's totally easy.
Sarah
Yeah.
sometimes does, but she's not the one who's combo buffering Blizzara Blizzaga, so that's okay.
Now for the hard part.
Yeah, the Moogle throw is the hardest part.
There is a chest up there, honest. Okay, yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna run around for a bit, going towards this flower patch.
So the fragment was causing a storm.
You know, I
No
do.
particular
By
reason.
accident, but it kept
I do
working
read
inside.
Mog, and I believe when he just said Kupo Kupo, he said, "Can you read a couple donations?"
That was Kupo-E's for donations.
So I was thinking maybe I'll oblige to him. And how about we just do a $10 donation from Picklight that just says good luck and have fun. And a $25 donation from Anonymous. Enough expository banter. Now we fight like ladies and men and whatever the hell Mog will dress for Gilgamesh. It's morphin' time. And looking at that right now, the DLC Super Boss incentive, Gilgamesh is in the lead with $80 over Valfor 99 with 50. And unfortunately, Ultros and Typhoon and Snow haven't gotten any love yet. And I got
Not too late.
I know, it's not too late. Lots of time, guys.
Poor Uncle Ulti.
And I got a $47.50 donation from Oasis that says, "Hey, y'all, what a difference a year makes. I'm glad I'll be able to give somewhat generously this year. Put this $47.50 towards Star Ocean till the end of time. Naming fate Booper. Shout out to my fellow mod squatters. Love you all." Thank you very much for the donations.
We could probably get an update on costumes for everybody so far.
Yeah, sure.
We can check up on that.
Well, we
Doesn't have
haven't.
to be this menu specifically.
Well, we haven't had any changes in costumes, so unfortunately,
Okay.
we still don't got beachwear, Sarah.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
thank you.
We're not.
When you were leveling up there, there's a few times where you got options as to what to increase.
Right, so each time you have basically a set of like 20 levels to level up, and then when you get to the end of it, you have the opportunity to pick one of a couple different things to take, which could be a new role, it could be another ATB level, a couple other different things as well.
Yeah, several roll bonus boosts and like accessory spots as well. And the options you have available depend on like what kind of Crystarian development you have currently. It's the same thing with monsters as well. Like they have a choice when they at the end of their Crystarian.
Right, and they have like different numbers of Crystarian nodes for different monsters, right?
Yep.
Meanwhile, there was a boss. I mean, it had the boss music, so I'm pretty sure it was boss.
That was the weakened Royal Ripeness, who is now named Mutant Tomato.
Now, I do have a question for you. Are naming rolling, or is that it?
We can change names.
Awesome, because Gahongus does have a new name.
What's his new name?
He's now Solomon.
Nice.
Problem for our buddy Mo.
Excellent, eh?
That was Gahongus?
Yep.
Nope, that's all. Solo. There we go.
Close enough.
Good old Solomon.
Not Solo Man, but close enough. Also, I only found out today that the monster named Gilgamesh is actually Gilgamash. I did not even realize that.
What?
Yep. Don't worry about it.
Just figured out like half an hour before the run, no biggie.
So we are now done with the Summoner Fortescape.
So we finished what was episode 3B, which we are doing before we finish 3A for various reasons. And by doing that, we get to the Void Beyond, which is sort of remnants of Valhalla, which is where lightning is supposed to
Weird
be.
enough.
And yeah, that's what this area is. It's literally all it is remnants of Valhalla.
Cool. Good thing we went there.
Yep.
Super useful.
Oh man. You know, Lewd, I really liked that mini game that we played earlier, the Temporal Rift. Do you think you could deliver us some more mini games?
I'll try to work some in, no promises.
I hope so, man. I'm really looking forward
Wait,
to it.
where's Erba?
Do we really want
That-
an empty
This
dead
I'm
is-
pretty sure
In a world
that's
abandoned
This
by
is
the
like
foul
time.
sea,
that's pretty
and
much
space.
No, it's good enough. It's Zerba.
Okay.
Over there, Mom.
How did you hear that?
Yep, we are going to do some more puzzles. These puzzles are called Connect the Dots, and they are as exciting as they sound.
I love this video game.
It's not really obvious exactly where this takes place, but you know, wherever you are.
I'm regretting giving you a headset. Yeah, so those are the dots, and they have been connected.
I might have something else you might regret too, Villagin.
I regret a lot of things.
How about a $50 donation from Trojan Dude 12?
Oh, wow.
Yo, Lude, good luck on the run. I'm glad you're showcasing this game with Sarah as the playable character instead of the one where Snow won't stop yelling, Sarah! Oh,
He actually yelled it in this at one point.
yeah. And, tell Vula that I'm glad he is on the couch and he hasn't sunken the ship yet.
Jeez.
Trojan, I just want you to know that earlier, in order to test the PA system, I played your duet with Roos for the entirety of the RPG Limit Break attendees. So, just FYI. Love you, buddy.
Giddy up.
Don't worry, we still got more minigames. We're
Yeah.
not out yet.
If you loved the connected dots, we have more. If you didn't love them, we have more.
And oh yeah, that $50 donation did go towards fighting Gilgamesh, which is giving him a good $80 lead. So if someone else wants to see another person, they better get in while the run's going.
Yo, that was a Necton. You made a Necton with that. Yeah, that's what that was.
Yeah, and then I necked off.
This one's a Mia next.
Dude, you can draw pretty pictures in this game. It's... Uh-oh.
It's fine.
I just kind of forgot the order here.
So these things like cycle over time. It's kind of an annoying little feature where just which colors are where changes periodically, but it's always going to be such that you can make some connection, or you can just sit there and wait and...
To clarify, you can only connect the dots when they are the same color.
Right.
Which is what Villagin is referencing. And they all start at the same color, but if you don't touch a crystal long enough, they change colors. And then that's when people get confused because it's not the original puzzle anymore.
Yep.
And then connecting the dots gets fun, I guess.
No,
it
it's not go
doesn't.
crazy here.
And it's kind of alluded to, like the pattern's monster shapes. They're actually the Crystarium shapes for various monsters, and various types of kind of similar monsters share the same shape of Crystarium. So like all the different bonds that shape enemies, or like the bond genus, I guess, of enemies, they all have the same kind of Crystarium pattern.
I like how alluded to.
I thought the same thing. Allude did hear that.
Giddy up.
Okay. Villagin wants to kill me now, so.
No.
He wants to harm me.
No.
He wants me to do more puzzles.
Yeah. This is your punishment, Lid.
Punish.
That's what I said, yeah.
It's not even clock puzzles, dude.
I wish there were clock puzzles.
So do I.
So there's a third type of minigame in this. We've already done the tile puzzles. We've done the connected dots. There's a third type of puzzle in this game. And it's this clock thing where you have to visit like each node around this ring. Each one has like a random number, and the number means how many like movements you can do from that spot to different spots.
In
Very hard to
layman's terms,
describe.
you're trying to find the Hamiltonian cycle in a connected graph.
In layman's terms. Ugh. I mean, you're not wrong, but. Oh yeah, and this one just has the nice little gaps in the middle to make it even more annoying.
I guess it's supposed to be difficulty.
Let's not go crazy with words like difficulty.
Especially not in reference to this game.
Oh.
Hey man, he at least isn't playing on easy, I think.
I can't really tell.
Alright. Done with mini games, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No more mini games.
Well, there are some sort of fun things, like let's rotate rooms in Augusta Tower.
Oh, I just meant here in Airba. Like, we
Yes.
actually get to do something now.
Well,
Sort of.
Yeah.
for a very short period of time.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, we're already up to $2,000 raised.
I'm just gonna Crux out. 'cause
Nice.
They were awkwardly
That's a good
placed.
number. I think we can do more. I mean, we got, come on, we got like just under 2 hours to run left. Let's go. I would like to see $5,400. Yeah, let's go.
Me too.
Not just for the meme, but also to support. No,
Of course.
also for the meme.
Mostly for the meme.
And I got a couple more to help fill in that $2,000 total we've already reached. We got a $10 donation from Silverfire that started off the Jeff Hive Mine with Choo Choo, or Necton, I mean. And we had a $10 donation from Uko. What's up, RPG Limit Break? I'm not there yet, so shout out to my Earthbound family. Wouldn't be a part of the upcoming relay race, or even attending RPG Limit Break 2017. Well, or even running this game at all without seeing last year's All Photos run. Also, no one's donated to name the player, so let's get us started. And he started off by naming butts to you.
Yeah, it's actually awesome to kind of think about that. Like people who watch a run in a given event, then they learn that they learn that game, and they're in the next event playing. Like a year is a pretty short time to get that good at any game in speedrunning. So that's pretty awesome.
Indeed.
And to reach the $2,000 mark, we had a $2 donation from Ashen Prime, who says, can't keep sitting here with the donations $2 away from 2,000, so here you go. Put it towards Runner's Choice. And I believe Runner has asked to put the money
hold on a
towards
second.
bringing
What do you mean
Aerith into
sanctions?
the final fight
I
in
must
Final
protect
Fantasy
the
VII
sanctity
later
of the
today.
timeline.
Correct.
All right, so Kaya,
This is Gahungus, though.
agreed.
It's our first instance, I believe, of a Pharaoh Link.
It is. Yes. So note that now we all have 6 buffs on ourselves, including Jeff.
Kind of makes me wonder how much a bottle rocket can do.
This is one of my favorite fights because I know in casual play a lot of people struggle in this fight, and then in the speed run we just kind of kill them. Also, for some reason, you can move Noel around during this animation, so I like to just move him closer to Kaya's, just because he wants a hug.
You shall pay for your
This
crimes.
cutscene is not skippable, so it's just 1 minute and 40 seconds of content. How are you doing, Luigi?
I'm doing okay. That was a good fight, man. Like, very clean.
Yeah. Here's where we could have a fancy schmancy. Here's a rundown of the fight. We'll do it in slow motion.
I am not going to fight
And then
you.
we'll have like some yellow lines. Here you can see when he used the Feral Link.
Caius, you once
And what? And look at here. Oh, 108 health restored. Oh my goodness.
That'd be great to have a telestrator.
Speaking as the person running the stream over there, I'm gonna go with how about no.
Timeline has already
I've got
changed.
enough complicated stuff going on.
All right, so this is one of the most infamous lines in the game coming up.
must we accept this?
Not this one.
Patience.
It's somewhere here.
If you change the future, you change the past.
Sound logic.
You can
Agreed.
remold history as your heart desires.
And that right there
Let's
is
go
like the best summary
you are made to
of
witness.
This
how this
entire
game
game.
makes no sense at all. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. That's all I got.
Come.
Well, while we do have some time, Pharaoh Links, every monster has a Pharaoh Link. And then you can only use it when you're synchronized, I believe is the term.
Yep. It's a little bar kind of underneath the monster's health bar that fills up over time as you use them. And that's independent to each monster.
How much would the artifact sell for?
Wow. What kind of question is that? Jeez.
Clearly, the answer is $54.
They don't use
And a
dollars
penny.
in this world.
Okay, thanks for ruining that.
You're welcome. I mean, you could have gone like 5,400 gil, but I don't know.
Be careful now. I'm going to have to slap you with some sanctions.
You know, I don't have a 54, but I do have a $50 donation from AU Flurry. Says, Snow needs some love and Noah needs some new threads. Let's get this rolling. That, by the way, he donated 30 of that towards changing Noah to Space-Time Guardian.
Is that in the lead now?
That is in the lead right now. Space-Time
Cool.
Space-Time
do it
Guardian
right now.
is $5 over Black Mage right now. And I'd also like to put this out here real quick. We are raising funds for the National Alliance on Mental Health, or on mental illness, and every donation you guys give goes directly to the foundation. And in order to try to help out in every way possible, we also got some prizes that we're giving away. And the big prize we got going, we don't have any going on for specifically this game except for the grand prize, which with a minimum $25 bid, you could win a Nintendo Switch.
Very nice.
I don't remember when my last spawn was, so I'm just going to spawn up here. That was good.
Yeah, so there's a couple of points where just kind of not having an encounter for a while afterwards is quite convenient. It's kind of one of those points, so if you're not sure where your encounters were, it's generally better to force one, just so you know where you are.
Yeah, so the live trigger reward, if you actually like watch all the cutscenes and do all of the conversations that you're supposed to do, you get some live triggers that you can respond to. Like one of them was how much would the artifact sell for, but there was another one that I missed because I skipped cutscenes, I think. And if I had answered all of them, I would have gotten an adornment. And if I had answered all of them with funny answers, I would have gotten a different adornment. Adornments are things you can equip on your monsters to change their appearances slightly. And by slightly, I mean very slightly.
You can put like a ribbon on your behemoth. Which is exactly as ludicrous as it sounds.
Ludicrous.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The foul sea that caused the eclipse. What was it looking for up in the sky?
Future maybe.
So we're hoping to get a spawner before I get here, and I did. This is actually really good because it's not going to force a spawn later, or I'm not going to get a spawn as I try to enter a gate later, rather. And I'm almost at the dead zone, too. And a cutscene trigger, which gets rid of the monsters for me.
That puppy.
Revenge of Zwanzig.
I was literally just thinking that.
Those are Uridimus.
No, you're a Dimu.
Who's a Dimu? You're a Dimu. Yes, you are.
I was afraid of
That's
what would
one of my
happen if
jokes.
no one was here.
If you couldn't tell by the laughter in the
Maybe we
room.
need the paradox to draw them here.
Perfect, dude. It's perfect.
You also noticed we traveled to, what was it, 01X years?
Yep.
Yep.
Don't worry about it.
Because we changed the future, we changed the past, and now we are in
I
01X.
hope he's being a good little doggy.
Yes, he is.
Oh, man.
Are you waiting?
So yeah, we changed the, specifically this area, Yasha's Massif, used to be like shrouded in darkness. There was this eclipse, so it turns out that was a paradox. Paradox is a word that has no meaning in the world of Final Fantasy 13-2. It just means whatever you want it to mean.
Right
It's
now,
kind of like
It does have a
device.
meaning in a shoe store, though.
there are still some places we haven't
Or wait.
checked out.
Stop.
Stop. What are
Might know
dots?
something that will
It's basically though it's like Reapers in Mass Effect, right? Like everything is just a paradox.
Giddy up.
Oh man, that's a paradox. Yo, you died? Oh man, that must have been a paradox. You're fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, the Final Fantasy 13-2 drinking game is every time there's a paradox, take a sip. Every time Mog says Kubo, take a sip. Every time Kaya shows up, finish your
I
drink.
have to stop you there because it's not appropriate to recommend anyone to that sort of thing on this stream.
Okay.
Don't recommend that you do those things.
I was joking, I'm sorry.
Act responsibly, you know. Definitely don't play any drinking games with this game because you will die. Straight up.
Yes, make sure you're responsible, and also make sure you're changing Mog's outfit. Because I got a $30 donation from Dysem. Says, good luck on your run, Mr. LewdDolphin. Put this towards Panda Mog.
Nice.
Panda Mog is in the lead with $30, with Devil Mog at $25.
Alrighty.
And then one other one I have here is a $50 donation from Quatropus. I probably butchered that.
Quadrupus.
Quadrupus, thank you. Heard about Limit Break for the first time last year. Since then, I've been enjoying all the talented runs and meeting all of the great and wonderful people along the way. I guess Fulgen too. Well, put this money towards naming Jeff and Earthbound to trash. You shouldn't be missing that much with bottle rockets, my dude. Thank you very much.
So there's not much that's really happening right now. Just a bunch of running around. We're going into this optional gate because we need to get a key from this, which will help with a map later. But it's literally just running around. There's not even any items we want.
Yeah, so that was kind of the first wild gate where we can use one of the wild artifacts, which, like we kind of mentioned earlier, you can use them in any wild gate in any order. And while some of those are optional areas, some of them are required to beat the game. So you can make it very hard for yourself if you
Try using the switch.
use your wild artifacts poorly.
Yeah, just like that.
So this map is Room Rotating Simulator.
Part 1.
Part 1, indeed.
It can be very inconvenient to, I don't know if it's in this particular instance, but get monster spawns in these rooms.
Yeah. This map is fine. It's mostly passives. It's the other map that's in this region that has multiple aggros and is an RNG factor in the speedrun.
Maybe this is a paradox of some sort.
That's what I said,
Of course.
consistent run.
It's a paradox, dude. The lack of consistency is a paradox.
Also, none of these are
consistently-
skippable cutscenes for whatever reason. Super important that you see each rotation and elevator.
1, 2, 3.
Those numbers actually do serve a purpose at the very end. They're actually telling us the password.
Spoilers.
1, 2, 3. That's a stupid password. It's like an idiot's password to their luggage. Oops. Like I said, nothing's skippable.
Yep. No matter how hard you try.
This is not lightning returns.
You can always just Crux out.
That sounds much better.
I really like the term Crux out. I like imagining that, like, because you're like on tilt because you got an encounter that you couldn't escape. Like, I'm Cruxing out. You know, like
That's how it's done.
getting upset kind of thing. Yeah. 7. Whoa. All right, changing it up here.
I think he was offended by the joke I made. So he decided to be smarter.
Did they ever actually give an explanation for the screen effect?
I
Paradox.
believe
It's a paradox.
that the computer is staring at Sarah Knoll through like a security camera or something, even though the camera's following Sarah Knoll, because these are like entities that don't belong here or something.
Something like that.
So they're paradoxes.
Paradoxes, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
They're paradoxes.
Oh man, that room's rotating of its own accord.
It's suspicious.
That is very suspicious. Something I really like about the music in this game is the little, like, aggressive mix that they have that switches to when you get into an encounter or when you have enemies spawn and you're running away from them.
Yeah, it's a really nice touch.
One more time. Yeah. So much fun.
Riveting gameplay.
That was a legitimate yawn, but it was well timed. So.
Oh, another 7. Ooh.
I've actually already lashed.
I mean, it'd be cool if as this room's rotating, the room also rotates. Wait.
You know, I found out something else that's a pretty good timing too.
Oh yeah.
How about the $11 donation from Volshock Sorcerer again? But this time it's to put Noel back in his proper costume. So go ahead and switch him back to a black mage when you get a chance. Thank you.
Noel's
Sure.
really tall, by the way.
He is really tall. Wow.
Doesn't even fit on the screen. Oh, there we go.
What was the black mage?
Yep.
All right, so that was that map.
DX always makes me laugh. Like, there's so many way to refer to that.
It's clearly the only way to refer to a paradox is X.
It does. I mean, the word ends in X. So, in that
Right.
regard, you are absolutely correct.
I think everything's absolutely correct in 13-2 logic.
Wibbly wobbly.
Kupo? Kupo?
Kupo.
All right, so here's the gate we want to go out of. I need to wait for Monk to hit that item, though. There we go. And that ends episode 3A, which takes us to the Void Beyond.
Again.
And once we get done with this instance of the Void Beyond, then these locked areas actually turn into Serendipity and Academia 400. And Serendipity is pretty important, because without Serendipity, there would be no Chichu.
Something looks different from the last time we were here. Mog, is this even the same place?
This is the void beyond.
There'll also be no
Kupo.
lucky coin, though,
It's
so
just
I
one
mean.
of the many shadows about
True
how
story.
to be found, Kupo.
Kupo.
Lucky Coin is one of the worst achievements in this
Best.
game.
Best achievement.
Well, your mileage may vary.
Depending if you're watching or playing.
If
No,
you're
it
one of
still
those
sucks.
people who gets Lucky Coin in 5 minutes, then it's
I
good.
hate you.
Wait, if you're one of those people that get it in 3 hours,
Well, I hope you have some tape for the X button on your controller. Listen, that's probably what most people did casually, just tape the button down and leave. I will say the music in this place is fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good.
so we're not actually going here to gamble at all. We're going here to talk to the Mystic.
This must.
Because now we have fragment skills. This one gives us a better Moogle throw, and then now we can sell items for slightly more. And that improved Moogle throw is necessary in order to be able to pull this off.
Yeah, so those fragment skills, some are tied to specific kind of story-based fragments, and then some are based on just certain collections, so like completing all the fragments in a certain region or whatever will give you a new skill.
I'm trying to make shapes, but I have no idea how to make shapes.
You're late. Next
Alright.
time. I believe in you.
So this flower patch, oops, spawn. That was interesting. Okay, this flower patch.
And away.
We're throwing Mog at this flower patch in order to get Chichu. I was sort of hoping we would get the mini Flam figurine, but that's okay.
We can probably get the name for Chi-Chu shortly.
Will become part of our party soon enough.
And what about Chi-Chu is so important?
Well, Chichu likes the name Jeff, that's for certain.
That is fitting for reasons we shall see.
As Jeff has a commanding lead with a $100 and 54-cent
Nice.
donation, with Solomon only at 15.
Who did this?
Not human. Only some.
We don't go down easy.
So this is a massive town
You gotta
that's
stop.
terrorized with a proto-Fal'Cie that's turning all of their citizens into Seath. It's also many people's least favorite dungeon because of the constant enemy spawns.
There are a lot of those.
And they're unescapable.
And there's also rain.
Yeah,
Who's closing
it's
things
even
off?
indoors.
I don't think
apparently.
it is a fluke. This is all the work of machines.
All the work of machines. So what are you up to here? More magician's marks, items to upgrade monsters.
Also a Lunar Stinger for Null, which is a weapon that has a bit of a better magic
You're
stat on
taking
it.
a position in front of the wall.
Did you say magic weapon for Noel or for Sarah?
I don't know.
I think you said
Never
Noel
mind.
and then said her, so
I
think there's some interesting things happening there.
for someone. Nice crystal.
I'm sure we'll make thorough use of that.
That crystal's not
You must have
exciting,
been the gatekeeper, huh?
but this crystal could be super exciting.
Actually very
This is a
exciting.
2% crystal. Not that it would be beneficial in speedrun, but in casual play, it's a sort of important crystal because it gets you like quick stagger and chain bonus, I think, or something. I don't know. We haven't talked about monster infusions at all, but that's gonna happen in about 2 minutes.
Okay, so short version is you can feed a monster to another monster, and that will transfer some set of abilities from the fed monster into, or sorry, from the eaten monster into the eating monster. It depends on a very complex series of like rules and stuff as far as how powerful each ability is on each monster, what can even transfer from one to the other, and so on and so forth. But the important thing is we're going to aim to get a certain few specific abilities into Chi-Chu, who is going to become a ridiculous powerhouse.
Indeed.
I love this track too.
All the music in this area is great.
Why would you do that?
There is a slight chance for a bit of like skip here. So if he gets it.
Twice about sacrificing human life.
Don't mind the screams.
Everyone's fine.
It's all good, dude. Nothing bad is happening.
They're having a party.
All right, so Chi-Chu's in our party now. He's a commando, but he gets a bunch of strength boosts, and he's very fast and pretty cheap to upgrade, so he becomes really powerful.
Kind of like as mentioned earlier, while we're not actually affecting Paradigms directly, we're just kind of replacing Nectum with Chi-Chu directly. Which is why it's
First, we're going to name him.
very convenient that his name is the same as Nectum's name.
We're going to name him Jeff, but there can only be one Jeff. So he's going to eat Jeff. Jeff has eaten Jeff.
So what do we gain from that particular infusion?
He gets magic plus 10%, which matters a little bit.
Yeah, you know, 10% more damage, no big deal. On magic. So this is my favorite part about Chi-Chu, is that his method of attacking is to mash his face wildly into the opponent until they die. And in this speedrun, he becomes so powerful that it's actually a reality. He's just gonna excitedly slam his face into things, and they're going to follow
Very
him.
hungry.
You can just hear him going, nom 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 nom.
Oh, I like to think of him as a cat
Because of us.
that really wants attention.
The only ones who can save us.
He's just like,
Am I gonna miss this?
Oh!
Oh! There's a cutscene trigger there. I've just barely made it.
Christ. We gotta catch him and make him talk.
So this fight, we can actually avoid first by initializing it and retrying, and then running down the steps, which causes a live trigger, which despawns enemies.
which we then skip.
Yep.
Giddy up.
Get it?
Yeah.
Nice. I think one of my favorite things about 13-2 is just like the random flavor text that the characters say while traversing the world. And I feel like Noel's sayings are just like particularly banal and pointless.
There's a lot of pointless things. Mostly when you throw Mog, people start saying useless things. Even the NPCs, they get super excited at seeing a thrown Mog. They all run up to him and go, whoa! Oh, I forgot to do something, actually. Which was to give Sarah the Lunar Stinger.
Oh, right, yeah.
Not super important.
You might want
I
that.
just remembered that. Even though we have Chichu, we are still facing a bunch of monsters that are weak to magic, so these AoE spells we're casting and combo buffering is still better for us to do versus letting Chichu kill. Also, yes, I know this is an up ramp.
That might be a problem.
Oh no.
I mean, it's an extra spawn. It happens. So we ran out of time on the mod clock, so it says time is up, and now we can't retry. If we die, though, we can retry, but we can't manually retry.
Fortunately, none of the enemies here are like super dangerous or anything. It's just time loss, but that's not that big of a deal. Especially considering we keep menuing to change outfits and stuff.
Yeah. It's okay. It's not like this is a speedrun or anything.
Gahanga's already decided that it wasn't.
It's just a fast let's play.
Luckily, getting the encounter there makes this a little safer.
Yeah, so this one and the previous one are extra spawns, and it, of course, wastes time. I'm going to an area where some people don't bother going right away, just because sometimes it works out well. In this case, not really, but sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of dependent on what encounter you get outlining and stuff, which isn't really something we can have any control over. Just comes down to runner preference.
I know it's kind of crazy to want to go here, but don't worry, we'll be as fast as a Chocobo.
What kind of Chocobo? Gold Chocobo? Yellow Chocobo?
It doesn't really matter, we'll just gas them up with the greens and let them go.
Better saddle up if you think you can ride in this rodeo.
Lots of people have gone missing around here.
Alright. Thanks, man. That was good to know.
Oh,
How
look,
many
he's
people
red.
have gone missing so far?
Kind of looks crazy, doesn't he?
So I got a few more donations that have come in.
Hold on real
Hold
quick.
on.
Sure, no
This
problem.
music's really important.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
Super important music.
Take the reins, but don't react slow. It's time to feel the force of the Chocobo.
Somebody had to record this.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, man.
That is your foray into Crazy Chocobo. Thank you for listening.
I am speechless. That was amazing, though. Well, we got a $25 donation from Control Alt that says, "Gotta get entered for that Switch. All for a great cause. Paradox is another word for plot point in this series." And I'd like to also thank all the donors for getting us past 2017 as quickly as possible. His $25 went to naming VV Bert, or $30. In Final Fantasy IX at the end of the marathon. And I also like to make one small correction. The grand prize is not only for a Nintendo Switch. If you donate at least $25 throughout the marathon, you also get Nintendo Switch and the new Zelda game with it.
Ooh.
Of course. I mean, that's what, if you're getting a Switch, that's what you want to do right now.
Exactly. And a $10 donation from Steel Frost. Apparently, I was anonymous in my last donation, so here's another $10. I'm over the 54 bucks milestone, but I mean, hey, Nami is awesome, aren't they? Oh, absolutely. And that one's for naming Cloud Steel Frost in the Final Fantasy VII run later today. And we got a $25 donation from Flaming Monkeys 2. It says, good luck on the runs, and name Cloud for what he really is. Fake Zack. Now, you know, I don't want to give anything away or anything, but he's a pretty lousy Zack. That's all I'll say. And you'll find that out a little bit later today.
Well, in that run, you probably won't. You'll find something out, though. For sure, something.
I think you'll probably find paradoxes.
Probably.
And I do have one more. A $30 donation from Sarah Rips. Says, in loving memory of my good friend Adam, mental illness should not be a stigma, with those suffering afraid to speak for what they when they really need help. Thank you guys very much for your donations.
So, Lou, don't worry about all these encounters, but what are we going to do on this upcoming boss?
We're gonna kill him, of course.
What? Good. Good, I'm glad.
That's not. Why can I not? Okay, I guess we're targeting him right now. I couldn't press down for some reason. So Cositus is weak to arrow, but in the first fight, you don't know that. So Noel is not going to bother casting arrow, but we can get lightning to cast arrow, thankfully.
Lightning?
By Sarah.
I mean,
by lightning, I meant
they're basically the same character.
Pink hair, yeah. And for funsies, we're going to do the same fight again, except without the accompanying guy for some reason.
Yeah.
And now we know he's weak to arrow.
This sequence is really well designed.
So I got a question for everyone over there on the couch. You know, we've gotten a lot of things about 54 today, but I don't think a lot of people really know where that comes from. Could you give them a hand?
I'll let someone else take care of that.
We can tell that story in a little bit. We
Okay.
have
Yeah, there's an important fight here.
this coming up.
This is Zenobia. This is actually a reference to a mission from 13. And he is lots of tentacles.
So in order to get access to damage, then you have to kill, I believe, all the tentacles, right?
Yeah, I have to kill all of those Balbathices. Which there's one left. There
That'll
you go.
die. And then Zenobia becomes boss.
So we did Gahungus' Feral Link for the second time. So it's kind of important that I get this kill right, because if he goes into defensive stance, which he will do if he takes too much damage, this fight it gets prolonged. But if we keep him interrupted, he can't do it.
Nice. That was very well executed. So yeah, if you manage just to go back into defensive stance, he sprouts another whole crap load of tentacles, and you gotta do the whole thing again. And he's a lot beater.
Yeah, second time around, there's more tentacles and they're more aggressive.
Do you think you may have lost time there?
Don't worry about the time loss. More important question: where did 54 come from?
All right. So this is a story you might have heard if you tuned in to the Final Fantasy XIII run last year. But basically, Lewd at one point was doing attempts at speed killing a particular fight in Final Fantasy 13. Which
Eden
version?
Toys.
The
Eden
Eden
Toys.
Toys. Right, right. And so he's aiming for a particular target time of you were going for 54?
I was going for 54. My best time was 55. A
Right.
Japanese person had gotten 54 seconds many years ago, and I was never able to get it. And I hadn't done it for years, and then one stream I decided I'm just going to randomly do it for funsies. And about an hour and 40 minutes into it, I was just doing it for fun. I wasn't really seriously trying. My best time was 58 seconds. And then I got a 54, and I was so shocked that I uttered, well, screamed.
54!
54! Out of nowhere! 54! And there were 54 viewers in my chat. The synergy, yo! The synergy!
It's a good clip to go watch. It's somewhere on his YouTube. The language is a little stronger than what we're describing here.
Yes.
But it was a good time.
First off,
So that is the origin of the 54 meme and why we all
let me guess.
I mean, if you look
We just
around the
got-
world, like 54s are everywhere. Paradox.
The weather forecast, at least according to the plane I was on
Paradox.
for this area, said 54 degrees.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, so it's random which screen the bright screen is in there.
Actually, no, that's always fourth try.
Oh.
This room's random. The next one, rather.
People... okay. People have been lying to me.
Is it just me, or can you see all these people around
I just
us
assumed I
as
was
well?
getting really unlucky every time.
Yeah, I can see them. Why did you think I couldn't?
It's just...
Nope.
Paradox.
Nope.
It's gonna be the fourth one.
Nah.
Of course it is, dude.
It's a shame we can't name a monster Paradox.
Thank you. Welcome.
I don't actually know if that was in the list or not.
We could probably name something else Paradox if you were so inclined with your money.
If we wanted to check and see if it was even in the list.
The next time we have to change a monster name, I will certainly look for Paradox first. Yeah, you can't input custom names, but you can select from a list of like 350 names. And when I first suggested putting all 350 names into the list,
We have to be careful. This
Tulexol
could be a trap.
said no.
If he hadn't told you no, I was gonna tell you no.
Why don't we just...
Just a sec.
All right, so that access key we got from, I guess, the 300 is what was used to raise this
Let's find out
elevator.
for sure.
Are all the people who work here the...
This elevator just rises when you mash on buttons, apparently.
Saving every button on the way.
That's how you use computers in the future.
Pretty sure it is, yeah.
If a
Just
person
send
is
Chi-Chi to
created
do it.
artificially, do they still...
Face roll.
What he's good at.
He really owns his brand, you know.
What's the brand?
It's good at Dorman.
So we're level 97 Ravager now. We kind of went a little bit ham.
99 now.
99.
All right, perfect. Literally.
Yeah, we did that. We
Spirit?
only leveled Sarah there, but we gave her more magic.
say
We
spirit
don't
is
level
a gift
Null
from the
because
goddess,
it's going to make
given to
a
humans and humans
future
only.
fight faster, if you can believe
We are
that.
studying.
This way.
All right, so if you experience vertigo, you should probably not pay attention to this fight.
Oh god, I forgot about this.
Yeah, this part is particularly visually distracting, shall we say.
Yeah. And there's so many effects going on. Like one of the things about we mentioned earlier that they kind of made the combat more flashy in this game. So the result is there's so much crap on the screen. It can be really hard to follow.
We're also just
disorienting.
spamming like second and third tier spells all the time.
The main enemy in that fight is Orion, and he's weak to fire, which is why we're focusing on Firaga combo buffering. We want to get his crystal, though. Not because we want to use him, but because we want to use his buff. Or not buff, skill.
Your turn.
Oh my god. It's so bad.
Unfortunately, he's a 5% chance.
Definitely more than a few people who stop playing this game at this point because they couldn't cope with it.
Yep.
It's definitely understandable. It's a bit over the top.
It's only a few fights, but good lord.
It's a few fights too many.
Yep.
This'll show you.
And I mean, realistically, it's an elevator. It's not swinging side to side.
How do you know? Are you there?
It's got you there.
No, that's fair. Man.
All right, we're done with those fights.
Phew.
Good.
So if you enjoyed the room rotating simulator, we have some more.
Aw, but it doesn't say the numbers.
1.
Well, while you're taking a chance to rotate some rooms, if you mind if I take a moment here?
Yeah, go ahead, rotate some donations.
Well, I got one here from Linkzara. That's a $25 donation that says, "Hooray for Limit Break!" And Linkzara put that towards bringing Aerith to the final boss in Final Fantasy VII. So I thought I would take a moment real quick to call out a few incentives here. We still do have the rolling incentives for outfits and naming Chi-Chu. And also for which DLC super boss he's going to fight at the end. Right now, Gilgamesh is in a commanding lead with $130, followed by Velford 99 at 63. And, well, Snow did get $20, so there's some love for him. But coming up after this is The Legend of Grimrock by Dragondarch, and there's 2 incentives for him. One is which character portraits to use. We have a few specially made ones from Team Jeffbound, Team Shining Force, and Team Final Fantasy, with Team Jeffbound having only $5 and both have not received any bids yet. And we also have the Read the Turum notes, which is $50 out of 300. And the Turum notes, he will be reading them out loud, and I'm pretty sure Dragondarch is an excellent connoisseur of the words. It's very interesting. And then after that, we have Final Fantasy VII. You can name most of the characters in the game, but the big one is bringing Aerith to the final boss. Right now, we are at 357 out of 2,000, and I heard that she shouldn't be there, that maybe she decided to take a break somewhere else.
I have many jokes that I could make, some of which are spoilers for that game and some of which are spoilers for this game. But maybe we'll just let it ride. Oh, that's a dog.
Yeah.
Cat.
Luminous Puma.
So luminous.
However, it's attached to Orion, so it's not all bad.
So Sarah just decided to get interrupted there so rudely.
Hurt, right?
The panda costume is adorable.
Yep.
All right, that finishes this floor.
How many floors are there?
A lot.
Well, we're on the 52nd floor right now.
54!
We'll figure out how many floors there are later.
I mean, yeah.
Shh.
Damn it, villager.
Dude, I mean, come on. It's obviously 100.
Yeah.
Would there be 150 floors?
You know what? That would actually be better.
There are a lot of aggros in this area, but we are still trying to get Orion or Dragoon now. Dragoon also provides what Orion has.
I love the fact that the Planeters have the siren.
Planeter is the best enemy in any video game, just period. Not quite from that one.
So we're gonna run in here. We're gonna rotate this room, and then we're gonna rotate this room. And then we're gonna grab this item because it's right here. And then
Okay.
hello.
That works.
How's it going?
Let's regroup.
What's up?
Thank you.
I do love the comparison between this game and Final Fantasy 15. The fact that you can just, like, very quickly, with not that much like progression of the game, get access to all your ATB and raw and god level spells and just be like dealing ridiculous amounts of damage, constantly spamming Firaga. It's pretty nice.
I just like to say I think you forgot an and then. Because I think there's a $25 donation from Frank Pizza that says, here is $25 towards a great cause, beachwear costumes. Just kidding, NAMI is a fantastic organization and deserves all the donations. Oh, by the way, was not kidding because beachwear is now in the lead with $70.54 over White Mage at $65.
Terrible. You're all terrible. You have bad taste. Hi.
Hello.
These Orions are really your friend.
There are a lot of aggressives on this floor, so it's kind of expected.
So what are you looking for from the Orions exactly?
A crystal.
Well, I mean, from the, so you're going to use that to infuse Chichu? Or?
Yes. It's going to give Chichu adrenaline. Adrenaline provides a damage boost when his HP is green.
Which is over 70%, I believe.
Yes.
How much is the damage boost on Adrenaline?
20%.
Cool. So that's pretty beefy. It's going to be part of Chichu becoming yet more broken.
So here's where I throw for some items and stand around awkwardly because I don't want to get a spawn.
Awesome.
And that was...
Log, what are you doing?
That is why I do not play basketball for a living.
Alright.
Got
Good.
the item.
Lord.
Mod clock does go down really fast. Unfortunately, because Noel is the leader, Kahungus is going to want to buff Noel instead, so I can't get Faith on Sarah as easily.
No way.
This one's mine.
Dragoon, good.
Good. There you go.
Nice.
Whoops. I always forget where change leader is.
Again, very consistent game with no RNG whatsoever. Of course, it's just, you're not familiar with the term. It's just literally everything that has some element of luck, speedrunners will call RNG. It's not really what it means, but it's fine. Don't worry about it.
This is the
It's a
last
paradox.
key. Next stop, the very top floor.
Hashtag everything is a paradox. That Orion, that's a paradox.
Yeah, so unfortunately now we're at the point where we don't even want the encounters anymore, but they're going to keep coming. So.
I'll show you.
I'm going to call it right now. This encounter is going to drop a crystal.
This one won't, the next one will.
Okay. All right.
Too easy.
You might be
I actually would prefer the Orion crystal because he's cheaper to upgrade
be
than
right.
Dragoon,
Why would the Cirrus come here?
which is why I haven't leveled Dragoon yet.
There's always a chance.
Literally always, because we are going to be fighting these forever. Because this floor is done.
Time to die.
They're actually a tremendously the Flanators. Oh,
easy.
wow, this guy. Oh man. So the Flanators are actually a tremendously annoying enemy casually because you'll get like a pair of Flanators in an encounter, and so you'll start beating one of them, and the other one will heal it up. You'll start beating the other one, and the first one will heal that one up, and they'll just be healing each other forever, and it's like impossible to do anything to them.
Yeah,
Oh,
so we gave Adrenaline to Chichu. He's happy now.
I think I got something else that'll make you happy too.
Man.
I've just got 2 donations. $6 donation from Volshik Sorcerer. Nope, White Mage. And $5 from Drumbordis that says, hey y'all, I'm going to be there in a couple of days, but I heard the beachwear was in, and I can't abide by that. White Mage or Riot. Let me help out towards the healing cause, I guess. So that is going to put White Mage in the lead.
Good.
As it should be.
Right now, White Mage is at $81 compared to Beachwear, which is at $70.54.
Sick.
Got
Another
54.
Riot.
Crystal.
Oh lord. It's perfect. It's just perfect.
So much better.
Oh. Are we getting the... No. We
No,
can
don't worry.
actually
Yep.
watch the encounter. Actually.
So the Kilos in the 13 series have a thing where after you damage them down to a certain point, they'll get up, remove any debuffs, and then be a lot more aggressive and stronger, and generally more of a pain. But it also gives us enough time to start getting D-Shine and stuff ready. So by the time he stands up, he's going right back down.
Hey, so the previous floor was 52, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So this is 53 then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it's only 53 floors.
Alright.
But wait.
Wait, there are stairs here.
I know it's a machine.
So wait, so if we're on 53
Seems
and
like
then
it's
we go up the
almost
stairs.
breathing.
If what Alyssa was telling us is true, Yule and Kaya
I'm
should
not
be
even
up
gonna
here
finish
as
that
well.
because you know how to finish it.
Finish it with some donation comments.
But are they with us?
Sent to us, and then we'll get to them after the boss, obviously. So this is a proto-Falsi. It's a Falsi that is constructed by humans-ish. Fight stretch should look pretty familiar.
Totally not anime.
No, it's totally different. All right,
And it's different color. I
he
mean,
won. It's over. Good fight.
Yep, that's it. Wait, there's more!
Oh look, it's the same fight. Oh, but he boosted his kinetic. Whatever that means. So now we are actually going to kill the arms.
yes.
I'll make it a little bit more palatable.
There's also another benefit, which is that they drop very nice things.
Does he really do a lot of damage after you killed those?
He does ruin go.
Oh, so he's not really armless?
Jeez.
So I guess just a small note, something we haven't really mentioned yet, but if you're kind of familiar with 13, you probably know that debuffs have a random infliction rate, whereas in this game, the infliction rate on debuffs, such as D-Shot and D-Protect, are actually based on your magic stat. So you can always be like, okay, D-Protect will take 8 casts to land, and then always do exactly 8 casts, which makes it a lot easier to kind of root fights for speeding.
There's a lot less,
No way.
you know, vanilla trolling by never landing in peril. That sort of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It also means we can never get stuck in like early or late debuffs because we always inflict exactly when we want.
The lyrics of this song are fantastic.
And this song's called Limit Break.
This fight also has one of my favorite quotes.
Agreed.
Okay, my turn.
See how you like this!
Time for you to go away.
There's another great one in the moment as well.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Oh man.
Thanks to Mog, huh?
You guys play her up,
You saved the day.
Thank you. You did great.
I like how the panda costume looks like he's got like bags under his eyes after this.
He is very tired.
Sad
All
fact.
right.
Oh, hey, look, there's another one.
The correct answer to this question is, of course, scream at hope.
All right, and we win.
Yep.
Yep.
Good game.
First playthrough, I thought that was the joke answer.
Yep. I think most
I think
people did.
everyone thought
Yeah,
it was
they
the
tried
joke.
like all 3 other
Yes.
possibilities, and finally they're like, why? And then it just works.
Even the people who got it right first try just went with it because it was the joke answer, and they did it despite hope.
Which is a good reason,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're hopeless.
All right, so the next time era that we're traversing to is 4XX.
Yeah. Okay. This is the year when Dr. Wily took over, right?
Yeah. By
Well, I
changing-
mean that Fal'Cie was built by humans.
Oh, man. That was a Maverick, dude. So this is when you find out that the final boss of this game is Sigma.
Proto Foul Sigma.
So one of my favorite hobbies to do in this area is spy on the kids and wait for them to fall over. Because it tends to happen.
After all said and done.
Also happens in New
handled
Bodom,
Proto
but
Fal'Cie pretty well. What did you do to it anyway?
I sort of have an idea of what happened, but I can't really explain it. It was more of a hunch, really.
no one's fallen over yet, though.
Well, we
So I'm
won.
just going to stand
That's
here
what matters,
awkwardly
I
then.
guess.
Or sit here awkwardly, I suppose. I'm not really standing. I could
Person's
stand.
walking into a wall.
Oh, almost knocked that kid over.
I wish you could knock kids over. I'd do that more often.
All right.
Someone fell over. Yep, there it is.
Oh my god.
You can tell by the high-pitched screams. They go,
It sounded exactly like that. It was perfect.
There's another kid in here that runs around and sometimes falls over,
All good here.
I think.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see.
Not really.
The NPC chatter is almost as good as Noel's chatter. Almost.
All right, so here we get to turn in these items that we've been collecting all game that we said were for a later purpose. Well, here's the later purpose. Our quest, if we chose to accept it, but we accepted it in the future and grabbed them in the past, is to grab Graviton cores.
Well, you changed the future so that you also changed the timey-wimey stuff. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, for some reason there's a cutscene there in the middle.
Yeah, I think she says, like, good job, guys. You're really making a lot of progress.
Sounds about right.
Data and materials we need.
And you just
This is
like,
the worst throw.
No, it's not. It's really easy.
No, it's the worst.
took me 4 attempts yesterday.
See?
That's really easy, dude.
All right, there we go. Get out.
I joke that it's the best gill farming spot in the run because if you fail to throw, you get 1 gill.
Guaranteed, dude. Like, there's no RNG in that.
Right.
Well, yeah, there is, because you might get a silver chocobo.
Yeah, that's actually bad for gill farming.
That would be a real shame.
That kid's running. Ha! He fell over.
Why is this in the game?
Someone had to program that.
So anyway.
I think that people 400 years in the future have, for some reason, developed this evolutionary advantage of falling over randomly that somehow stops them from entering harm's way.
It's all the wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. So anyway, we got a silver chocobo. Silver chocobo is really great to eat.
Yeah, we're gonna eat it. Not right away though, but we will eat it.
Teacher's pretty hungry, as we previously established.
A giant gaping maw at the victory screen.
But he always looks so happy.
He is happy.
He is super
I
happy.
don't
I
wanna
mean, we've been
stop
feeding
giving-
him really well.
Mm.
Like, I don't want to
he's-
stop giving him stuff.
Do you
He might
see
get
how
sad
round
then.
he is?
Oh man, poor Chi-Chi.
It's okay. He's just an onion.
His layers? Is that what we're getting
And
at?
the meme we're going for.
Layers of eaten monsters.
I was gonna say it's more like a matryoshka though. Matryoshka? I don't know.
I don't know what the word is, but I know the dogs you're talking
that
about,
you?
and they have
The nested.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we've lost Noel.
Oh no.
Noel's gone.
Oh, what a shame.
Couldn't that have happened like 2 hours ago?
As if this actually really does kind of suck because now you have to battle with just Sarah and a summon monster, and
There's no way we can win.
that sound that you just heard was my soul escaping my body.
Did it happen already?
Wow.
I suppose.
But yeah, there's a fight coming up, and it is not fun casually. It's not fun in this either. Like, I've seen people trying to learn this run, and this fight is just terrible.
Yep.
Win.
So when you see me running around in circles randomly, it's because I'm trying to force a spawn. Because I can't talk to Yule when there are monsters.
If you try to talk to her when there's monsters, you'll have a bad time.
Yep.
That was too easy.
You know what would make the boss fight a little bit easier? Some stylish beachwear.
Oh no.
We have $6 from Celadorn that says to tasteless beachwear.
Well, you got that part right.
And a $25 donation with no comment.
Oh, I can't even change outfits. Okay.
So-
Oh.
All right. Well,
Oh.
probably because I don't have Noel. So.
But that puts
What a
beachwear in the lead with $101.54 over 75 for White Mage.
So the meteorite at the beginning there is to cancel his first attack. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. He hurts. He's not very nice.
Yeah, but so does Chi-Chi.
Yeah, he does. And he has full health, so hey. Just mashes guys straight to death.
And you can walk around during this, of course. Sarah says hi.
Chiju's
Oh,
just
and
sitting
then-
there hopping.
I just sit there like a judging here, like, what did you do?
And Sarah's just like, oh, I'm really tired suddenly. Teacher's like, what the heck? I did all the work.
Can I eat him too?
I mean, that would greatly simplify the plot.
if he could, then that would be a paradox.
Yes. Nice load screen.
Yep.
Have I really come back to New Boda? Or is this just part of a dream?
Must be part of a dream because you're not chasing cats.
I think a kid fell down. I heard a fall down noise.
Or wearing
down there.
stylish beachwear.
Are you able to change your hair?
Probably not.
You might not be able to until after we get the party back together.
Yeah. Nope. I'll check in Dying
Gotta
World.
get the band back together.
Is it a dream world? Am I trapped? Am I the only one here?
Yo, it's lightning.
So if I answer a
Or is
question
it?
here, I could get a bad ending.
I
It's
know,
not really an ending. It's
it
a
looks
paradox
like it.
ending.
Whatever, who cares?
But
Paradoxes.
bad ending.
Who was that?
All right. So earlier I
Why
said
is he
trivia
trying to
time,
help me?
and then I said the meteorite site is located in some cardinal direction. Does anyone happen to remember that direction?
I do. It was northwest.
Northwest.
It's not
All
really
right.
a cardinal direction, is it?
Well, I don't know. I just said that to sound like I was smart.
A directional
Clearly
direction.
I failed.
Can you? Okay.
Hello.
Well, I was
Rejected.
wondering if you could dodge him, and the answer is clearly no.
You
Well,
tried. We'll give you that one.
It dodged.
Can I jump
All
over?
right, that's fair.
I can. All right.
Yo, nice. We learned something.
All
new
right.
today.
So, meteorite
two.
site is clearly northeast, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Much northeast.
Such wow. Wait, what?
That's how you know it's a dream, dude.
Oh, it's a dream paradox.
Actually, I think it's also this direction in the later new bottom.
Magnetic pole shift.
Magnetic
Wibbly,
paradox.
Wobbly. Timey.
Sure, we could think of a reason.
Whiny.
A wizard did it.
Yeah, so in this world, the meteor site is southeast.
I'm pretty sure that's what you said initially.
I said northeast.
Northwest. Oh yeah, no, you did. Wait, what?
You said northwest.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then you said northeast.
Yeah.
I said northeast.
And then we said southeast.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all the same.
Okay. Yeah. As long as it's not southwest.
It's a paradox. Keep up.
Did you say Kupo?
I said keep up.
Okay, but it really sounded like
Are you
Kupo.
sure you said keep up?
Like, it really sounded like it's a paradox, Kupo.
Oh my.
We're
We've been
still
doing
playing the
this
video
too
game,
long.
aren't
Are we
we?
done yet?
We're almost there, I think.
Hope so.
Well, if we're almost there, then we better hurry up and for the DLC Super Boss, if you want a chance to pick who he's going to fight. Right now, Gilgamesh is in the lead with $130 over Velford with 63 and Snow at 20.
And Ultros is crying.
Bible thump.
There's
Ultras
really
thump.
snow donations for Ultras.
He's just crying and sneezing.
That
Snorting,
is-
more like.
Yeah, that's Chupan.
Does it feel like boogieing today?
Can I change outfits now? Nope. Probably after the Gog Magog fight.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe not even then, because I don't have Mog yet. By the way, I don't have Mog right now.
Who?
Good question. I lost my train of thought, apparently.
Whatever you just said must have been a paradox.
Kupo.
Oh, wow.
Found him. Unfortunately.
And this isn't even like, we haven't even gotten to the part of the week where everyone's punch drunk from like sleep deprivation. This is the
I think I'm still
beginning.
catching up from yesterday though.
Okay, that's fair. You had the international travel. The rest of us are like, I don't know what our problem is.
All right, so we don't have Mog, but we still have Moogle Hunt. But we don't have Moogle Throw. Not that that is really relevant, but...
Who?
Yes.
Kupo.
Keep on. Keep up.
on.
That's one.
Kupo.
This is a really exciting part of this video game.
Yep.
You know what might spice this up?
A couple
High
more
spirits.
donations.
I've had it up to here with the donations, okay?
Oh, don't worry. You're still
I've
wearing...
had it. I refuse to play this game now.
Well, what if I tell you
I'm
you don't
putting the
have to
controller
wear...
down. I'm not doing anything.
What if I tell you you don't have to wear beachwear anymore?
I can't change my outfits.
Okay, well, I was joking anyways. But we have two other donations.
Wow.
We have a $10 from Nemo2342.
Oh, the bait and switch.
Thought I'd toss in another donation to try to get some competition going for those Grimrock names. We can't let Jeff Bound win without a fight. And he put his towards the Shining Force portrait. And a $10 donation from Dwayne says some money for not having Jeff in Grimrock. Wow, all the hate for Jeff. And then and then the name I use for Lucaro in my games as an option for later in the marathon, Lord Rao, and that is for Pokemon X.
Just to be clear.
That was an intended death.
Yeah.
It's faster to die than to try to win. And you don't lose if you die in that fight.
Yeah, and that was the fight mentioned earlier where we said we were not going to upgrade Null yet, just so he has less HP, so it dies faster.
Soon we'll probably fix that, I
Yep.
think. Yeah?
Yep.
Sounds good. All right. I've definitely totally played this game before and watched a lot of speedruns.
So here's some cutscenes.
Agreed.
We're actually teleporting across the dying world with these. Like, we're super far away from where we just were, which will be important when we have to go back there.
Is it in the northeast?
It is northeast, fun fact.
Oh, hey. Gog.
He's
really
back.
tall.
He's back and he's really mad.
But we've got buffs.
He's so mad that he's going to debuff himself for no reason.
Wow.
Wait, what?
He's only debuffing himself.
He's fucked. You can still use Rive. What is this?
He didn't bother attacking us in that fight until the very end, apparently. That's pretty fortunate. Not that it really matters all that much, but it is really random what he does. And the reason that he's debuffing himself is that if he gets to 6 debuffs, then he doesn't attack where we swap buffs, and we end up with all of those debuffs.
And he ends up with all the buffs.
That sounds miserable. It's nice that you just killed him.
Yeah.
He hurts quite a bit, but he wants to.
So now we're going to take the casual jog back to the Farseer's Relic.
You don't think you can...
Can I change outfits? Nope, not yet. Wow.
You don't think you can ride this Chocobo?
They don't exist. They died.
Oh. I mean, this is a dying world.
I mean, it is kind of like serious. Like in this era, a dying world 700 AF, which happens to be 200 years after Cocoon fell into Pulse, which created this big pile of ash or something that killed a lot of life.
I mean, if a planet crashes into another planet,
it's generally a bad time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good.
Yeah, this is Noel's time period. Noel was the last surviving person of the human race when he was brought back to New Bodom 3 AF to try to avoid this from happening.
Well, how are we doing so far?
You know, Sarah,
Not well.
I gotta thank you for not forgetting about me. You're the reason we've made it this far.
Come on,
Please
Noel.
no?
That's fine.
You're not just the future boy.
Oh.
You're a part of my time
You're
period
not
as
just
well.
the future boy anymore.
You're the future man now.
Well, I guess you guys, you will all agree that it's not gone too well so far, huh? But I also have a $25 anonymous donations that also thinks you'll all agree that this has been a great game to start the marathon.
Good. I think so too. It's a fun game.
It is.
I also have a $30 donation from Mills. Good cause, great stream. Cheers to Lewd and the couch potatoes behind you. Thanks to the runs and the entertainment.
Behind? You're to my left.
Slightly behind and to the left.
Sideways.
And that went towards bringing Era to the final boss.
That's where all the money should go.
Yep. But yeah, this is definitely a very kind of fun game to speedrun. It's pretty easy to pick up as well. So, you know, if you have been interested by this run and you think you want to try it out, definitely recommend picking it up.
It's probably the easiest of the trilogy. I would think.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is a fun part.
We need to talk, Chocobo.
Nah, we don't need to. We're gonna run over here first. Can I change outfits now? Yeah! What was it, beachwear?
Wait.
Was the only change? Or did something else change?
Yeah, I think it was only beach one.
The eyes on the Moogle costume were something else.
Well, here's where the game audio just sort of decides it had enough.
Yes, this does always happen.
It's a paradox.
I've been making jokes about this in my streams where I like start telling a story and then right before this happens, I mute my mic and people just think the stream audio died.
No doubt about it. This is your village, but the time period. This is far into the future after mankind is gone.
This can't be the fate the world is moving towards.
Well, I would like to, I got one more donation here. A $10 anonymous. Says, I've struggled with depression, so it's a no-brainer to help out Nami. Here's to solving all of the world's problems, one speed run at a time. And that $10 went towards fighting Riku's final boss with low HP in Kingdom Hearts. And I'd just like to remind everyone we're here at RPG Limit Break 2017 to raise money for NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And May is Mental Health Month, and we want to raise awareness for all of these problems. And you too can learn more about it by going to nami.org.
All right, so this is New Bodom 700 AF, the ruins of New Bodom, and it's very desolate, as everything in 700 AF is.
Pretty dead.
I was finally able to talk with her. And it's all thanks
But
to
lightning
you.
showed up in the cutscene. And now on to the final area.
Nah, I want to go gambling first. I think I can get Lucky Coin in 5 minutes. We have time to kill, right?
How lucky do you feel?
Lucky enough. Approximately 54 luckies.
I think Cosmic the Dolphin agrees.
Oops.
Cosmic gave a $5 donation. Tuesday can't come soon enough for me, as this is where I shall finally see all of you nerds. 54! Long live all forms of dolphin-based life.
Woo!
And I hope you're wearing some stylish beachwear now.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right, so the fragment skills we just got, cheaper items from the shop, as well as a super jump. Look, I can float now. Isn't that cool?
Yep.
Super important for this dungeon, which is actually a platformer.
Instead of rotating rooms, we're now rotating blocks.
Rotating
Except we're
Tetris
not doing
pieces.
Yep. And from what I remember, it's actually required to pick up anti-grav jump. Yeah, right here we're just kind of selling everything we don't need anymore. All that is worth a decent amount of money. So getting enough monster materials to level up Chichu another chunk, as well as kind of catching up on recovery items. Because while we haven't really had to use them much at this point, the last few bosses it'll be nice to have at least a couple.
That is a lot of CP.
It is.
Yes, and I'm not going to spend any of it on Sarah. We're going to
Doesn't need it.
neglect
She's
her.
fine.
Yeah, if we don't level her, she becomes easier to die. Or easier to kill.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the right verb. Easier to kill, which is actually good. Trust me. I'm a
All
dolphin.
would become clear. You need that on the shirt.
Alright, so at this point, Chichu's overpowering Sarah and Noel, so we're not really going to focus on Sarah and Noel doing damage as much. And for that reason, we're going to infuse Silver Chocobo. Silver Chocobo comes with a passive ability, Ally KO Power Surge, which means that when one of Sarah or Noel die, Chichu gets 110% stronger.
Good lord.
And to be clear, if your party leader dies, is it still a game over in this?
No, you can
Okay.
switch to your other character, but not the monster.
Yeah.
So if Sarah and Noel die, but Chichu survives, it's still game over.
Alas. Even though he could easily single-handedly win any fight at this point. Hi.
Ooh.
Alright.
Hello. These are
Humans.
Yeomen. They're the only aggro spawn in this area. Well,
They hurt.
They're like tiny but extremely vile.
there's actually a massive difficulty spike in this area, which we've not really been paying attention to, like, the overall difficulty of the game, but, like, it's been pretty steady the entire game, and then here everything's just super hard for no reason. Well, I guess because it's the final dungeon, so,
Yeah.
you know, you have to
For
get
no
ready.
reason.
Can I give you some kind of incentive to go back and look at other areas of it? But nah.
By the way, falling off these things is terrible, and it sucks a lot.
Yeah, if you fall off, the game's over. No, you just return to the start, or
The run's over.
you return to a Cactuar statue, which we've not activated yet.
So how about some delicious tacos?
Oh, I didn't switch later.
You did not.
I don't think it really matters that much.
You desire the destruction of all order.
Do I do this?
The goddess
Yeah, so one of these guys is weak to fire and the other one's weak to ice. And they have a little bit of an extra gimmick in them, which you'll see in a moment. It's not just as simple as killing one and then killing the other. Although we aim to make it that simple.
Ask yourself, is this the right path? The center cannot hold. I see the enemy.
So here's trying to move called Split. If we manage to get this off, then the other Pacros will respawn and have the same amount of health as this one currently has. I think it is how it works.
Yeah, once it... So at this point, it's going to regain the amount of health that it had at that point. So we try to avoid that from happening, but it's kind of difficult. There are various ways you can try to make it better. Some of them involve killing Sarah, but I've not really had a reliable way of doing that, so I just focus more on chaining with her. So I only got one Scarletite from that fight, which is a 18% chance. 2 Scarletites is 81%, and that's what we desire because we're going to sell those Scarletites in order to finish upgrading Chi-Chu. And if we don't have enough gil for that, we're going to have a weaker Chi-Chu for final bosses.
I mean, weaker being a relative though.
Yeah, I mean, he'll still crush all in his way.
It doesn't make certain fights trivial, but yes.
Also, this dungeon is super confusing.
We're actually backtracking, but we're backtracking to a cube that didn't exist before. It only appears after you kill the Pacos twins. And the cubes, the color of the cubes determine the pattern of the rotations.
Yeah.
So now we can traverse to different areas.
Yeah, so these platforms rotate between 2 locations, but those 2 locations also depend on which of the 2 kind of global cycles you're on. So you have to kind of switch back and forth a bit. And even when you know where to go, this area sucks. Casually, it's disgusting.
I'm not a huge fan of the music either. There are a lot better tracks in this.
I like this track.
Do you?
Yeah, it's alright.
Alright.
I don't have
I'm
a problem
outnumbered.
with it. I think it's better than Augusta Towers.
Well.
Better being a relative term.
Oh, good lord.
That's fine. Oh no.
Well, this is a fun dodge.
Yeah, we don't really have any like things you can call fun dodges other than like these aggros, I guess. Unfortunately, I'm probably gonna have to Crux out because they're still chasing me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not worth taking the risk because you will get bodied by them.
Yeah, that fight, like in the speedrun, he is built to handle certain encounters in certain ways. He's not really built to handle 5 Yeomen.
You're never really built to handle 5 Yeomen.
I don't know, maybe if he loads like his Valfoder file, he might be able to do it.
Okay.
Are you
Here, I'm
serious?
just going to Crux out because the annoying thing about this platform is that the encounter rate is higher than normal, so even if I run away and successfully despawn and then return to where I want to be, a new monster will respawn. So I'm just going to Crux out here.
Yeah, it's kind of the game's way to kind of imply you have to fight the enemy, but Cruxing out works as well.
So I've activated that Cactuar Stone, and
Hey.
I'm just going to fall off. Because now I'm here.
Yeah.
So now that T-block is facing north, I'm going to activate this stone, which is actually cool because now this T-block stops in front of me, which it doesn't normally do in this pattern. But it does when it's trying to get reset to where the blue pattern is supposed to be. And it allows me to get over here a little bit faster. Unfortunately, that T-block is like really out of cycle. Oops. Oh no, we're good.
The bonk.
Getting Mog attached to chests is a lot harder than it should be sometimes.
So this platform has a spawn on it if I move anywhere, so I'm staying here until the tea is ready.
And yeah, these chests he's kind of throwing Mog for are just generally helpful or high value things that we can use for either upgrading Chi-Chu or selling to buy stuff to upgrade Chi-Chu at the end of this area.
Also, I should do this at some point, I suppose. What I was supposed to do a long time ago.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
It's fine.
Yeah, we're leading with Noel since we're sacrificing Sarah in a lot of these fights.
Chi-Chu's bloodlust knows no bounds.
Oh boy, this fight.
Now, although I just switched to Noel, I'm now going to switch to Sarah. Because Kalu is weak to Thunder, and Sarah has more magic than Noel, so it's a little more effective to have her do this.
And this fight is just rush him down before he rushes you down. Because he hurts a lot.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
Fortunately, Chi-Chu will just mash his face into him until he dies, while you thunder him to death as well. It's pretty good.
So this next part is pretty fun. We're first going to throw Mog into nothingness, and then we're going to make a suicide jump. Not really a suicide jump, that's false. But it looks scarier than it actually is. So, trust me?
Yep.
Nailed it. Probably.
And trust me?
Okay. I've never seen that before somehow.
It looks scarier than it is. The platform always lands in time.
It's only scary if you look down.
So you should close your eyes.
That's another aggro kind of.
Yeah.
And it's always there.
That's one of the hardest fights in the game, the Proto-Behemoth and 2 Schrodingers. Alright, now moment of truth. What can we afford? Afforded it.
Nice.
Can't buy as many items here as I would probably like, but that's okay. You don't really need too many.
Yeah, so there he was able to buy sufficient upgrading items to get an extra ATB for Chi-Chu.
This also gets us another strength boost on Chi-Chu and Faith Feeder, which is pretty cool. The Feeder abilities steal buffs from enemies.
Well, yeah. It removes the buff and then deals more damage. It
Now,
doesn't really
yeah, it has
steal
a
it because you don't get the buff from the enemy.
You do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Pay attention to Kaius.
What? No, I mean, like, it doesn't give Chi-Chu faith.
It does.
What? How have I
You
never
might be
noticed
confusing
this?
it with Deep Protect Chaser, which does more damage when the target has Deep
Yeah,
Protect.
how have I never noticed this?
We saw it already against Paradox, Protofelsi Adam. Sorry, I got Paradox,
Paradox
in my mind.
Adam.
Protofelsi Adam,
Paradox,
who
Paradox.
casts Bravery on himself, and Chi-Chu steals it.
By the way, the final battles in this game have freaking amazing music. Like most of the rest of the game.
So this has to be timed carefully because Chaos Bahamut will kill Gahungus if he gets an attack off.
Gahungus is significantly more squishy than Chi-Chu.
Poor Sarah. Oh well.
Yeah,
Now
Sarah
Chi-Chu's
died,
gonna-
but now Chi-Chu's 110% stronger.
Gonna seek revenge now. Just watch that HP bar on the boss going down. It's pretty much done.
If you
And
can
it's
follow
done.
it.
Yep. Just boop, boop, boop.
So this Kai's fight, he always attacks Sarah, which is very convenient.
Well,
Oh no, Sarah died. What a shame.
All right, so now he buffs himself, and then Chi-Chu steals these buffs.
oh my
yeah.
god.
I guess you can see it more if I'm not sitting in the paradigm menu, but Chi-Chu got the buffs. Also, I can walk around during this. Noel says hi.
It was fine because you could still see the health bar, and it was just like.
Yep.
Now this fight is random. We want him to attack Sarah. We're going to try to entice him to attack Sarah. Sometimes he doesn't want to attack Sarah. The jerk.
Yep.
Targeting Noel.
You can't stop me.
This is what the gigantic damage numbers as TG bashes his face into him. Look at that. Look at that HP bar.
More HP bar.
Yeah, exactly. Alright.
We didn't get the Sarah sacrifice, but we still got it off.
Goodbye, guys.
Now for the absolute final boss. So be ready on time, whoever's in charge of the timer. Actually, Freda already knows how to time,
Yep.
so.
Yep.
Probably fine.
Ah, Beachwear.
Sounds good.
So I don't think it's ever been mentioned, but Libra does not exist in this game. The only way to get enemy intel is to throw a Libra scope item, which is finite in quantity. So of course you have to use them when they're advantageous.
So you're fighting 3 Bahamets.
Yes, not just one, not just 2, but 3.
Is there a particular reason for killing, I guess, Garnet first?
Yes. So one of these Bahamets casts Protected Shell on himself, and the other casts Haste and Bravery or Faith. And when you kill one, they switch which one they're doing. So we're actually taking this to our advantage.
And that's what the ability changing skies does for the main Bahamut.
That's handy for Chi-Chu to also take things.
So forever ago, we picked up an item called Unicorn Horn, which is convenient right now because we got a bunch of debuffs, and they're gone.
One more use of Gahongas to get a whole bunch of buffs on us.
Yeah.
Look for Sarah to die momentarily.
That'll be the next attack most likely.
Alright, she is going to die to the next attack.
Their sacrifice will not be in vain. Jeff will save the day. Look at those numbers, dude.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
He's alive! Alive? He's
Jeez.
alive?
Excellent.
Alright, time.
We're gonna hear some music?
Music?
Yeah, music.
No.
Oh. Wow.
This is spoilers here.
But the music.
But we're gonna get some better music in a moment.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
we're kind of like, yeah, there's more.
Meat shield has been deployed.
That was a decent run. I mean, mostly for a marathon setting, it's a good run.
Yep.
Gahongas could have been so much worse too. Like,
Yeah.
I've had worse.
All right, so what you just missed was ending something something. There was a song, could have been sung along, but apparently not. And then here we are.
I mean, do you know
Historic
the words?
Yes, actually.
Oh.
So when I was practicing to learn this speedrun, the first thing I did was learn the lyrics so that when I PB'd, I could sing along.
All right, so is
Not even kidding.
Gilgamesh still in the lead?
Checking one more time real quick, and the DL Super Boss is Gilgamesh.
Alrighty.
Nice.
Should be this save.
Final Fantasy
Hopefully.
13.
I guess you can set up the costumes as well.
The story so far.
The what? Who?
The costumes for Sarah.
Oh yeah. That's still beachwear and
Time and space.
Yep, the costumes have not changed.
Black Mage. wasn't it?
space time and Panda, right?
Just
Correct.
double check.
These paradigms. Yes. All right, now for the DLC Coliseum. It's different than the normal Coliseum in that there's stuff to do, like super hard fights. And we're fighting Gilgamesh, who I think is probably the second hardest fight, the hardest one being Valfitter 99. All right. So for this, I have a fully set up team that's maxed out and monsters that are super overpowered.
Gilgamesh has guns, apparently.
Yep. Lots of guns.
This is not the greatest spear.
I'm just waiting for a buff. There's an arrow. Now I'm gonna get debuffs. All right, we have debuffs. All right, that was Gilgamesh. Thank you very much.
Cool. Nice fight.
Nope, there's more.
So now he's got swords, and he's really mean.
Yeah, this is the hard part. So he does random things. He also can't really be debuffed right now. Technically, he's not immune to debuffs. Realistically, you can't debuff him. But I'm still gonna just go here and try to get chain duration and stuff. Kind of enticing Gahungus to try to cast buffs. He starts with Bravery. Chi, actually. It's a Chi, I think. Trying to make it last a little longer. Not really trying to get a recast thing. By the way, I have 19 elixirs, so I'm not really worried about losing too much health. Waiting for stagger here. As soon as he's staggered, which is going to happen at an inconvenient moment because Sarah just got launched. But now I can start debuffing him, and I can use this Feral Link, which provides some frost on everyone conveniently. And that eerie Soundwave attack is annoying because it is going to cast Pain and Fog on people who should not have Pain or Fog.
Just ready.
Alright. I'm going to focus on damage dealing. I didn't get to keep Bravery on. That is Lightning over there, by the way. One of the strongest commandos in the game.
So good.
Alright. So after the first dagger, he powers up. Now I'm going to try to recharge Gahungus' Feral Link. And elixirs actually do recharge Feral Link by a smidge. So I'm just spamming this. Because I can. I afforded all of these. At some point I'm going to go here, get buffs. This is not Gahungus, but the Feral Link is similar. And it's the same sort of pattern as before. Except this time we really hope to kill, because otherwise he gets even stronger. So this is Sarah's full ATB skill. It chains pretty well. So now Cloudburst has too many debuffs. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get the kill because of the debuffing on Cloudburst. It really screws up lightning there. I'm gonna try to exploit as much damage dealing as I can via stagger extends. Oh, that didn't work out. Gilgamesh should have max chain right here. Instead stagger ended because I did it too late. A lot of stuff happens. That's okay. Noel's still alive. Oh. Oh, that was not.
Good.
As fast as certain parts of this battle system are, leader change is really slow. And annoyingly so, as we saw there. So if we get the stagger, we're fine. There we go. Chain much. Oh man, that was a recovery. Woo!
All
All
praise.
right. And that wraps up Final Fantasy XIII-2. Hope you enjoyed that.
Yep.
Awkward.
Agreed. Paradox.
I'll just sit here.
Thank you very much, LewdDolphin, for that run of Final Fantasy XIII-2. Up next, we have The Legend of Grimrock by Dragondarch. And we're going to need a little bit of time to set that up, so we're going to go ahead and play a couple of commercials while we take care of that. So we'll see you shortly.